Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Kinsman Civic Memorial Stadium in Oshawa, Ontario, for tonight's gold medal game of the 2019 Ray Carter Cup Under-15 Baseball Canada Championships here on SportsCanada.TV. Brian Oliver along with Jacob Ebbs. And we're a little bit away from the opening pitch, but we've got a lot to talk about before this gold medal game. It'll be British Columbia against Ontario for the national championship in just a few minutes here in Oshawa, Ontario. British Columbia at the moment will be taking their, actually it's Ontario taking their warm-ups now on the defensive, doing their infield, outfield here as you see players on the field, but this is just the warm-ups right now. We're still a few minutes away from baseball. But we're looking forward to an excellent game here tonight between two outstanding teams that have had a great tournament. And Jacob, Ontario and BC won semifinal games today to get here, and with a chance to have a lasting memory by winning a national championship here tonight.
Yeah, exactly. I think the mindset overall this entire week, but let alone today, has just been preserving the very best for this last game here. Both teams, I think, were expected to go at least into the medal round, and I mean, they've definitely proved themselves here so far.
Last year, Ontario, a different team. Ontario last year was represented by the elimination champions from Brampton, the Brampton Royals winning the Ontario Championship last year, and they came to the Nationals last year here in Oshawa and won that national championship gold medal in 2018 on this field by beating Saskatchewan. So Ontario is the defending gold medalist in this tournament. This year, the team for Ontario is represented by the Whitby Chiefs, and Whitby just west of Oshawa, the neighboring community. So Whitby very much here with all of their fans, very much a local flavor for this game, as a lot of the fans will make the very short drive here to Kinsman Stadium to watch their almost hometown team playing here at Kinsman Stadium.
Yeah, exactly. Walking as a former Whitby Chief myself, winning the Ontario Championships a few years ago, you see a lot of old faces, a lot of people that you remember. A lot of the Whitby executive members are here. They're all here to cheer on Team Ontario.
So let's talk about Ontario for just a moment. Ontario reaching this championship game thanks to a semifinal victory earlier today here on this field against Manitoba. It was a 5-1 win for the Team Ontario, beating Manitoba. They trailed that game 1-0 midway through it. After 3 innings, Manitoba had a 1-0 lead, but Ontario scoring 3 runs in the 4th inning and a couple more in the 5th inning as the bats came to life, and they won that game 5-1. In the round robin, Ontario went 3-1 to take first place in Group A, posting victories over Quebec, Oshawa, and this British Columbia team. That was the first game of the tournament for each team. That seems like an eternity ago now, as Ontario beat British Columbia in their opening round robin game by a score of 4-2. Ontario's only loss in the round robin was a game to Saskatchewan by a count of 4-0. Now for British Columbia, they got to this game tonight with a semifinal win earlier today at Clarington Fields, a 3-2 come-from-behind victory over Prince Edward Island. So that got them into the gold medal game here tonight. In the round robin, of course, as we mentioned, they lost to this Ontario team 4-2, but then they went on a streak, winning 3 straight to claim second place in Group A. They beat Saskatchewan, Quebec, and Ontario, shutting out Quebec and Oshawa, rather. And so they did not give up any runs in those 2 games to Quebec and Oshawa, and then only 2 runs to PEI. So very stingy defense for British Columbia in their last 3 games, only giving up 2 runs. So both teams coming in very hot here. British Columbia, the home community, the Delta Tigers. So many Delta Tigers are part of this team, and they have picked up various other players from the BC baseball community to round out their team. So Delta Tigers and Whitby Chiefs kind of going at each other as provincial representatives tonight.
Yeah, realistically, I think the same thing kind of goes to the Whitby Chiefs representing Ontario. They do have a cluster of their players still here, but completing the rest of their 18-man roster, going across from all over the province. I believe there's one from Aurora, one from BC, or sorry, not from BC, from Brampton and various places.
So Ontario working the infield here as they complete their warm-ups in advance of this gold medal game. Ontario and BC will be getting underway in a short time here at Kinsman Stadium. Again, Brian Oliver along with Jacob Ebbs, and welcome to all of our viewers across the country. We've had a chance to chat with fans here that have been coming to Kinsman Stadium, and there have been parents and grandparents and friends from all the provinces, and they've stopped by to say hello to us here at our broadcast area here on the first base side of the diamond, and it's been just a pleasure to meet people from all across the country. We know that they've been watching back in their home province and watching these great baseball players play, and we even know that some fans have been watching from the United States. So it's a real big baseball community, and it brings the country together with an event of this caliber and an excitement to see such great baseball.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and nothing brings family together quite like the game of baseball. And already, Kinsman Stadium is basically at capacity. There is not really an empty spot in the house right now, and we still got 10 minutes for game time.
Let's take a look at the final results today on this championship Sunday in the tournament at the Ray Carter Cup 2019. So we began play today with the 9th place, 10th place game. It was Nova Scotia taking 9th place early this morning here at Kinsman Stadium, defeating Newfoundland and Labrador by a score of 8-1. So Nova Scotia taking 9th, Newfoundland and Labrador 10th. New Brunswick was 1-4 in round-robin play, but ended up finishing 11th in the tournament. The game between Saskatchewan and Alberta was for 7th place today. That was this morning at Clarington Fields, and it was a 5-4 victory for Saskatchewan over Alberta, so Saskatchewan claiming 7th place in the tournament. The 5th place, 6th place game was a game between Quebec and the hometown Oshawa Legionnaires, the host team in the tournament, and Quebec won that game 7-0, ending just a few hours ago in Clarington. So Quebec taking 5th in the tournament and Oshawa 6th. And then just a few hours ago right here at Kinsman Stadium, you saw it, the bronze medal game between Prince Edward Island and Manitoba, and it was a 6-4 win for PEI. So it's a bronze medal for PEI in the tournament, Manitoba taking 4th, Prince Edward Island 3rd, and a great ball game that PEI led 6-1, and then Manitoba came back to make it a 6-4 game, and they had the tying runs at 2nd and 3rd, but unable to cash them in the home half of the 7th. So PEI will get the bronze medal a little bit later tonight after this gold medal game. There'll be a closing ceremony here, Jake, where all of the medalists will be presented with their awards from the tournament, and there will be a ceremony, and all the teams who are actually filing in here to Kinsman Stadium, because everybody still has to travel home, they're all here to watch this game as well.
Yeah, I think even for the teams that unfortunately didn't make it to, the one for all the marbles, the gold medal game, I think they're still excited to see, because no matter what, Ontario and BC have two fantastic baseball organizations. I think it's going to be a great game.
That'll give us a chance to talk about the sponsors for the Ray Carter Cup all weekend long, and without sponsors and, of course, without volunteers, an event of this magnitude just does not happen. So the sponsors for the Ray Carter Cup, Boys Under 15 Baseball Canada Championships this year, MLB, Major League Baseball, Toronto Blue Jays, Baseball Canada, Dairy Queen, Kahuniverse Sports Group, Rawlings, Mizuno, SportsCanada.TV, Durham College, Residence Conference Centers, GCBS Group of Companies, Play It Again Sports, TorontoCharters.com, and MyCore Insurance. So Team Ontario now has left the diamond, and it is empty for the umpires to come onto the field, and they will receive the manager's lineup cards in just a moment, as we will be underway in a few minutes' time here in Oshawa, Ontario. A beautiful night here, Jake. The wind has died down a little bit. It was very windy to left field earlier today. It's still a little bit breezy in that direction, but it's about 22 degrees Celsius right now and a clear blue sky, and it's just a perfect night for baseball.
You know, you said yourself, perfect night for baseball. I can't really think of any way this could get better, other than maybe a pretty low-scoring ball game, which I think we're going to get.
Well, we've seen a lot. We saw a great bronze medal game and a huge dramatic finish just a few moments ago here at Kinsman Stadium when PEI won the bronze medal over Manitoba. So let's take a look at the lineups for each of the teams. British Columbia will be the visitor in this ball game. And I should point out that both teams came to the tournament with only one jersey. Both teams wearing red. Red jerseys with white pants. They each have blue numbers as well. So we'll do our best to differentiate the teams for you. But both teams are wearing red with white pants. So from your vantage point watching on the live stream, everybody's going to look the same. So we'll do our best to differentiate that for you. But British Columbia will be the visitor. And their lineup looks like this. Center fielder Jared Hall will lead things off. Teo Boyle at second base will bat second. Brandon Leblanc will be the third hitter for British Columbia. Noah Cassie will bat fourth, first base. Yanni Marome will bat fifth in left field. Carson Latimer at third base will bat sixth. Everett Swaim, the shortstop, will bat seventh. Ryan Heppner, the starting pitcher for BC, will bat eighth. And the catcher, Kenny Scott, will bat ninth for British Columbia. They will not go with the extra hitter in this game, so it'll be a 9-batter lineup for British Columbia. The home team is Ontario, and the lineup looks like this for Ontario. It'll be led by Zach Curris, the shortstop. Greg Lachance will be batting second. He's playing second base for Ontario tonight. The catcher, Matt Isaacson, wearing number 00, will bat third for Ontario. The pitcher, Carson Lumley, will bat cleanup, wearing number 9. The EH, the extra hitter, which Ontario will use in this game, will be Griffin Cato. Noah Avis will bat sixth in center field. Nick King at third base will bat seventh. Cody Hagerman will be the number 8 hitter for Ontario in right field. The left fielder, Owen Findlay, will bat ninth, and Liam Conway will bat 10th, the first baseman. So we're going to pause for a moment here as both teams line up on the infield, and we will have the national anthem. So we're ready to go here. Gold medal action, Ray Carter Cup 2019. Championship and national championship on the line here in Oshawa, Ontario at Kinsman Stadium. So we've updated you on all of the scores. We've given you the starting lineups, and it's time to play baseball. The umpires for tonight's game, we'll have them for you here, and Jake, you've got them.
Yeah, home play is going to be Riley Norman. First base is Bryce Mason. Second base is Blair Haynes. Third base is Genevieve Gabory.
So it's a raucous atmosphere on a picture-perfect night in Oshawa, Ontario, as Team Ontario comes on the field to play defense. In the bottom or the top half of the first inning, BC will be the visitor and will bat first momentarily. Both the teams again wearing their red jerseys with white pants. So they will all look the same to you on the live stream, and we will do our best to remind you of which team is batting and which team is in the field. But the top of the first inning, British Columbia will send up Jared Hall, Teo Boyle, and Brandon Leblanc. As we mentioned, we've had a chance to chat with a lot of the different fans that have come to the game, family members. We're just chatting with Carrie a few moments ago from North Delta, BC, and you've probably heard her cheering in the background in some of BC's games this weekend, and she says hello. If you don't hear her through our microphones, she does say hello to everyone back home in North Delta, British Columbia. Carson Lumley will start the game, and Jake, he's a familiar name in baseball circles because last year he pitched for Team Ontario as a representative of Team Ontario when Brampton was Team Ontario.
Yeah, you know what? We've seen this guy for a little while now. He, there's not really a whole lot to say. He throws hard, he throws strikes, and he's going to be a tough opponent for BC.
So we're ready to go. Gold medal action. And a real great energy atmosphere here at Kinsman Stadium. Brian Oliver and Jacob Ebbs to bring you this gold medal national championship game at the Ray Carter Cup 2019. We're ready to go. Carson Lumley is ready, and so is Jared Hall, the leadoff hitter for BC, wearing jersey number 2. The center fielder fouls off the first pitch. And we're underway at 6:33 Eastern Time, 3:33 Pacific Time is the first pitch. Carson Lumley misses with that pitch. It's 1 ball and 1 strike to Jared Hall. The left-handed hitting center fielder is ready. Here's Lumley's 1-1 pitch. It's low, ball 2. 2-1. Just underway here, top of the first. British Columbia batting in this gold medal game. Lumley's pitch is inside for ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike. Lumley working fast, throwing hard, but not finding the zone yet. Here's the 3-1. Fouled away, strike 2. Some gas on those pitches, Jake.
Yeah, you know what? I think when you're in this kind of environment, you don't get to do this all too often. So you know what? Adrenaline takes over. You get a few extra miles on the speed gun.
3-2 pitch is waved at for strike 3. It probably was out of the zone, but Jared Hall is out on strikes. That's the first out of the ball game. 1 away, and it's the second baseman. Tayo Boyley will come up here, number 12. He will bat from the right side against Carson Lumley, who just struck out Jared Hall to start the ball game. Carson Lumley is ready, fires it low, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch is in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Ontario defense looks like this. Liam Conway at first, Greg Lachance at second, Zach Curris at short, Nick King is the third baseman, Matt Isaacson is the catcher. The 1-1 pitch is off speed. It's in there for a strike. 1-2.
Boy, definitely was not expecting that one. Almost had him leaning over the plate at that.
Here's the 1-2 from Lumley. It's hit on the ground to the second baseman, Greg Lachance. He comes up with it high, just off the bag, and it is out. Liam Conway, I think, tagged out the runner there rather than stepping on the bag, as the throw from Lachance was just a little offline, but it is an out, 2 away. So that brings up number 11, the third hitter in the inning for BC with 2 away, Brandon Leblanc. He's a right-handed hitter. Checks his swing, not able to bring it back. It's a strike. 0-1. 2 up, 2 down so far for BC here in the top of the first. Lumley's pitch is in there for a strike. LeBlanc turned away from it, but it caught the inside corner.
I don't think we're going to see a third one here. I think it's going to come fastball.
Lumley's pitch is in the dirt, 1-2. Ontario's outfield looks like this. Owen Finley in left, Noah Avis in center, Cody Hagerman in right field. Lumley's 1-2 pitch is hit to right field, and it's going to be caught by Liam Conway. So it's a line out to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down for British Columbia in the top of the first. Ontario coming to bat. You're watching the live stream gold medal broadcast of the Ray Carter Cup Boys Under 15 Baseball Canada Championships on SportsCanada.TV. Bottom of the first inning coming up here at Kinsman Civic Memorial Stadium, Oshawa, Ontario. Brian Oliver along with Jacob Ebbs. Gold medal game here between British Columbia and Ontario at the Ray Carter Cup 2019. Ontario coming to bat in just a moment. Let's look at the British Columbia defense as we look at Ryan Heppner taking his warm-up pitches here for BC. Kenny Scott will be the catcher. Noah Cassie is the first baseman. Tayo Boyle at second base. Everett Swaim is the shortstop, and Carson Latimer will play third. In the outfield, left fielder will be Yanni Marom, Jared Hall in center field, and Brandon LeBlanc in right field. And no EH or extra hitter for British Columbia in the lineup tonight. They're going with a 9-hitter lineup. Sunshine still on the field here at Kinsman Stadium, but the sun is starting to set in the western sky, and you will start to see the shadows start to creep across the infield and then slowly out to the outfield over the next 20 minutes to 30 minutes or so as the lighting changes here at the stadium. First pitch to Zach Curris, the leadoff hitter for Ontario, is a ball. 1 ball and no strikes.
And I believe our announcer in the stands just behind first base, Jamie May, the pitcher for today's game, Ryan Heppner, already pitched earlier in the day, so already has a pitch count. His maximum he's able to throw is 95 pitches.
And I think he already threw 19 in the game against Prince Edward Island earlier today.
Yeah, I believe that's correct, yeah.
So the 2-0 pitch from Heppner misses. It's 3 balls and no strikes to Zach Curris, the shortstop for Ontario. He's ahead 3-0 here. Let's see if he takes it. He does. It's in there for a strike, 3-1.
Looks like it just caught the top of that strike zone.
So as you mentioned, Jake, with 19 pitches coming into this ball game, there's a bunt with 3-1. Third baseman will throw it over to first, and out is recorded at first. Carson Latimer scooped up that ball at third base and made the throw over to Noah Cassie at first, and he just kept his foot on the bag to record the out. Now the umpires are going to talk about it.
Yeah, it looked like they're on
very
that
close.
Play. Yeah, it looked like it dragged the first baseman, Noah Casey, off the bag there. That's going to be a close play, but I'm not sure what they're going to need to overturn it. The closest one who might have had a view of it is home plate.
Oh, they are overturning it. So the umpires talked about it, and Zach Curris is on with an infield hit. As it was just drawn off the bag, it was a real tough play, and Curris is a speedster getting down to first to beat that one out. So the first baseman was drawn off the bag, and it's a runner on first with nobody out here in the bottom of the first in a scoreless gold medal game here at the Ray Carter Cup. So a big moment here, and British Columbia wants to talk about that with the first base umpire as we they're going to want an explanation with it, but that's a tough call for BC. But it was really hard to tell from our position. Certainly, he did come off the bag at some point. It's a question of whether he had already caught the ball.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the gold medal game. There's a reason there's 4 umpires on this field. This is do or die. They have to make sure they get this call right.
So Greg Lachance will be the batter now, the second baseman for Ontario, with a runner at first, nobody out. Heppner's pitch is bunted foul. It was very high, and Lachance not able to get it in play, so it'll be a strike. 0-1 now to Greg Lachance.
Yeah, that pitch was almost at eye level there. Aggressive play by Lachance.
Count is 0-1 to Greg Lachance. He squares to bunt again. He takes it back, and it's taken for a strike at the knees, 0-2. Let's see if that means Ontario might take the bunt off here now with 2 strikes.
Yeah, I believe it's going to be a smart play for the coaches to take the bunt off, let him swing away, stay in protect mode.
Ryan Heppner's pitch is outside, ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bottom of the first inning, Ontario batting. Both teams wearing red jerseys, but Ontario batting here in the bottom of the first, a runner on first with nobody out. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Greg Lachance. That bit, it is hit to right field, and it is going to drop in front of the right fielder, Brandon LeBlanc. He'll throw it in. Close play at second. Ball gets away, and a run is going to score as Zach Curris comes all the way around from first, and it's 1-0 Ontario.
Well, that dropped in just to the right of the right fielder, I do believe, Brandon Leblanc, and he was able to almost make like a Jeter-esque throw back to the infield, and that probably saved him a little bit. However, the run still scores.
So what a turn of events. Zach Curris, who looked like he was first ruled out as the first batter of the inning for Ontario, the call was overturned and he went back to first base, and the next batter, Greg Lachance, hitting a ball between center and right field. It lands in, and he's on second base with an RBI double, and it's 1-0 Ontario in this gold medal game. The batter will be the catcher, Matt Isaacson. Brian Heppner is ready to go. And no, he's going to step off. And Isaacson, the catcher for Ontario, will step back, stretch, and now he's back in.
Let's go, Ryan. You do what you do, kid.
Greg Lachance is the base runner for Ontario at second. Gets a big jump, and the pitch is outside. First pitch to Isaacson, ball one. So already lots of drama here in the first inning. Ontario with a 1-0 lead, nobody out. Runner does not go, the pitch is fouled back. Isaacson is the number 3 hitter in the lineup. He'll be followed by Carson Lumley, so this is the heart of the order for Ontario here.
Yeah, this is a very dangerous few batters here for BC. They got to be pitching very carefully here.
Time is called, and Kenny Scott will go out and chat with his pitcher, Ryan Heppner, and they might be just going over their signals. Of course, Greg Lachance is at second and can see the signals that the catcher is putting down, and maybe there's just a little communication on that, so they're not making sure they're not tipping any pitches here.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they went out to talk about there. They could be changing up the signs, what signal they're going to go off of.
The 1-1 pitch, the bunt attempt misses as Isaacson tried to put that in play with the bunt, and the count now is 1-2 strikes. Nobody out here, bottom of the first, 1 run in for Ontario. They have a runner in scoring position at second. Greg Lachance with the lead, dancing around out there. Pitch is swung on and missed for the strikeout. First out of the inning for British Columbia. It's a big one. 1 away. And that'll bring up Carson Lumley. He's the cleanup hitter and the pitcher for Ontario in this game. And we're going to see British Columbia's coaching staff come out and talk to Ryan Heppner to make sure they know what they're doing here. And that is Luke Yarn from Richmond, BC. Correction, Luke Yam, sorry. He goes out and talks to Heppner. Kenny Scott is out there talking to Heppner. And it looks like we're set to go. Greg Lachance went to talk to his third base coach, and he's back there. Everybody's back in position where they need to be, and Carson Lumley comes up now with a runner on second, 1 away here in the first inning. Lumley takes that pitch for a strike. Shakes his head, doesn't like that call. It was just above the belt, but over the plate. So it's 0-1 to Carson Lumley. Ontario looking for more here in the bottom of the first inning. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Lumley here may just be a little bit too trigger happy at this point. Swinging that one just outside. Probably want to do too much here.
Count is 0-2 to Carson Lumley. Heppner's ready, throws it in there, and just missing. Very, very close pitch there. It's ball 1.
Right there, kid, right there.
British Columbia wanted that pitch, and it was a pretty close one. That's a hard one to take as a batter. So it's a 1-2 now to Carson Lumley. He doesn't offer it that one, and that one certainly was outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 run in, 1 out. Runner on second. It's a 2-2 pitch now from Ryan Heppner. That is in play to the shortstop. They will go to third to get the out. They miss the tag at third. Zach Curris, or correction, Everett Swaim getting that ball and throwing it to Carson Latimer. at third, and they miss the tag at third as they try to get the out there. And Carson Lumley is on with a fielder's choice, and now it's runners at the corners with one away. What do you think about that, Jake, going to third as opposed to going to first?
I think that was a foolish play to make there on behalf of BC. You know, take the out at that point. I understand, you know, you're trying to do the best you can here, but that is too risky. And being only down 1-0, you don't want this to get out of hand quickly.
Griffin Cato will be the batter for Ontario. The EH extra hitter takes ball one high. Greg Lachance at third base. Carson Lumley at first with one out. Ontario looking for more. They are up 1-0 here in this gold medal game in the first inning. Pitch is in there for a strike, 1-1. Zach Curris reached on an infield single. Greg Lachance doubled in the first run of the ball game. Since then, Carson Lumley reached on a fielder's choice, first and third here with one away. Runner goes. Bat is in play. That is going to be caught by the pitcher for one out. Over to first for the double play, and the inning is over. Ontario electing to send Carson Lumley on that pitch, and Griffin Cato lines out to the pitcher, and then Ryan Heppner throws it over to Noah Cassie to complete the double play. The inning is over. So just one run. It could have been a lot more for Ontario. We've played one. It's Ontario 1, British Columbia no score. You're watching the live stream broadcast of the Ray Carter Cup. Boys Under 15 Baseball Canada Championships on SportsCanada.TV. We get ready for the second inning here at Kinsman Stadium in Oshawa, Ontario. Gold medal game, the 2019 Ray Carter Cup Boys Under 15 Baseball Canada Championships on SportsCanada.TV. A run for Ontario in the bottom of the first, but they left a couple and only came away with one run. In the run coming courtesy of a double by Greg Lachance, scoring Zach Curris all the way from first for the first run of the ball game, but then Ontario hitting into a double play. A line out to end the inning. So one run on two hits for Ontario. No runs on no hits so far for BC. They were 3 up, 3 down in the top of the first inning. You can see the shadows are starting to creep across at least the foul territory and right behind home plate, and the shadows will begin to get a lot longer here, and the infield will be in the shade very, very soon here at Kinsman Stadium as the sun begins to set in the western sky. Beautiful night for baseball, clear sky, 22 degrees, and an energetic atmosphere, an electric atmosphere at Kinsman Stadium. BC coming up now in the top of the second. It'll be Noah Cassie, the first baseman, hitting from the right side, facing Carson Lumley. Pitch is low for ball one. See if that double play gives BC some kind of spark here, Jake.
Yeah, you know what? Able to kind of, stab Ontario like that right there. I think the momentum now is in BC's favor. It's up to them now to optimize it.
2 balls and no strikes to Noah Cassie. He hits that ball to left field. It's carrying and drifting. The outfielders are on it, and it is caught in left field by Owen Finley. He had to run a long way to get that ball as the wind kept pushing it into the gap in left center. So it's a long and loud flyout. 4 straight retired to start the game for Carson Lumley.
Great start for Lumley so far. It's now up to BC to kind of disrupt this timing that Lumley has right now.
Yanni Maram will be the batter, the left fielder for BC, wearing jersey number 24. Takes strike one from Carson Lumley. Carson Lumley threw 14 pitches in the first inning. The right-hander is ready. The 0-1 pitch is in play to the second baseman. Greg Lachance comes up with it. On to second for the out. Or on to first for the out. It's a ground out to second for Yanni Maram. 2 away, 2 up and 2 down. And that'll bring up Carson Latimer, the third baseman. So 5 straight retired to start the game for Carson Lumley. 1 strikeout and 2 away. Carson Latimer now coming up, batting from the left side. Carson Latimer from North Delta, British Columbia. Will watch that strike in there for, watch that pitch in there for a strike, 0-1.
Let's go. Sit back and drive it, kid. Sit back and drive it, Carson.
Here's the 0-1 pitch, fouled away.
There you go.
Quickly, 2 strikes here on Carson Latimer
Take your pitch.
as Carson Lumley, Carson against Carson here. That ball is in play to the shortstop. Nice dig there by the shortstop, and on to first, it gets away. Zach Curris made a throw, the ball gets away, and going to second and in there safe is Carson Latimer. So he beats that out, and the throw gets away on the error. I guess that would be called an infield hit and then an error.
Yeah, error on the shortstop.
The base hit and an error, or just an error?
I think it'd be base hit and an error on that one.
Let's switch places, bud.
Great job by Zach Curris to get that ball. It was hit very hard between the hole at third and short. He came up firing, but he missed his man, Liam Conway, at first. That ball is in play to the pitcher. Carson Lumley will throw it on to first, and that is the final out of the inning. So British Columbia gets a runner into scoring position, but they strand him there, and that's the end of the inning. So no runs and 1 runner left on base here in the top of the second. We've played an inning and a half in the gold medal game at the Ray Carter Cup. This is the live stream broadcast of the Under-15 Baseball Canada Championships on SportsCanada.TV. We go to the bottom of the second inning here in the gold medal game of the 2019 Ray Carter Cup. Under 15 National Baseball Championship game here on SportsCanada.TV. And it is Ontario leading British Columbia in this championship game. 1-0 Ontario with a run in the first inning courtesy of an RBI double by Greg Lachance. And they come up now with the 6, 7, and 8 hitters in their lineup. Noah Avis, Nick King, and Cody Hagerman scheduled to bat here for Ontario in the bottom of the second. Ryan Heppner continues on the mound. Jersey number 4 for BC, taking his warm-up pitches, and he's almost set to go here. As you can see, the shadows becoming more prevalent here on the infield, and they will become even more so in the next few minutes as the sun is just about to go behind the trees. It'll probably keep the sun in the eyes of the infielders and the outfielders, though, for a few more minutes, and that makes a fly ball to, particularly to right field, just a little more tricky.
Yeah, with the sun directly in the eyes, I think it's going to be more prevalent in the outfield when they're looking up for a fly ball or a pop-up. May make the win just a little more intimate there.
So Noah Avis is the leadoff hitter. The center fielder for Ontario takes a strike from Ryan Heppner. Again, Heppner threw 19 pitches earlier in the day in the semifinal game, the victory over Prince Edward Island. Swing and a miss there for strike 2.
There you go, Ryan. There you go, bud.
Which means he can throw 76 pitches in this game as a maximum. 0-2 to Noah Avis, the leadoff hitter in the bottom of the second here, Ontario leading 1-0. Heppner's pitch is high and swung at. Strikeout. It's the second of the game for Ryan Heppner.
Yeah, you know what, that brings a good point about the pitch count. I'm pretty sure BC's plan at this point is to ride Ryan Heppner's pitch count all the way up to 95 for making any changes.
So that brings up the third baseman, Nick King. Second strikeout of the game for Heppner. Nobody on the base pass, and the big right-handed hitting Nick King is up and takes a strike from Heppner. Nick King wearing jersey number 26. he's in the sunshine, but you can see that the catcher and the umpire are not in the sunshine here. That's just where the sunshine is right now. There's another strike, 0-2. BC looking for a shutdown inning here. Keep this a one-run game. The 0-2 pitch, swung on it, missed, strike 3. 2 consecutive strikeouts here for Ryan Heppner, 2 away. Here comes the right fielder, number 81, Cody Hagerman, for his first cuts of the game. 2 quick outs here for Ryan Heppner, the British Columbia pitcher. He's ready, and there's a swing and a miss for strike 1. He's humming it in there right now, Jake.
Yeah, you know what? He's doing a really good job at this point. He is, I'm just going to call and say he's working on an immaculate right now.
Oh, just misses that pitch just outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Cody Hagerman. 2 out. Nobody on here for Ontario. Ontario leading the game 1-0. Swing and a miss, strike 2. You know, and aside from that hard luck play in the first inning when Zach Curris was ruled safe at first, it's a swing and a miss, strike 3. What an inning there for Ryan Heppner as he strikes out the side, I think on 10 pitches?
10 pitches, that's correct.
10 pitches, 3 strikeouts on 10 pitches for Ryan Heppner in the second inning. Ontario gone quickly. We've played 2 innings here in the gold medal game of the Ray Carter Cup. It is Ontario 1, British Columbia no score. You're watching the live stream broadcast of the Boys Under 15 Baseball Canada Championships on SportsCanada.TV. So we go to the third inning now in this gold medal game, British Columbia and Ontario. BC coming to bat just moments from now in the top of the third inning. They trail this gold medal game to Ontario 1-0. Ontario with a run in the top of the first inning, the only scoring of the ball game. And British Columbia with just 1 base runner so far in the game, that being Carson Latimer in the last inning. Ryan Heppner will be the leadoff hitter for BC, the starting pitcher in this ball game, coming to the plate now, wearing jersey number 4. I guess the one differentiator for the uniforms is they both are wearing red jerseys and white pants. The numbers on the backs of the jerseys for BC are just a little thicker, just a little thicker font.
Also as well, it looks like Ontario is going with a slightly different font style compared to a traditional style of BC.
Carson Lumley will fire the first pitch in to his pitching counterpart, Ryan Heppner. It's in there for a strike here to start the third inning. BC with no runs on 1 hit. Ontario with 1 run on 2 hits so far. Pitch is high. Ryan Heppner now with a 1-1 count, hoping to get on base for his catcher who will follow him, Kenny Scott. Lumley is ready. Pitch is in there for strike 2. Firing in some gas there over the plate. Lumley is ready. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Freezes the batter, and it's in there for strike 3. So it's a strikeout looking for Ryan Heppner. That's the first out of the third inning, and that is the second strikeout of the ball game for Carson Lumley.
Well, that was a knee-buckling curveball there from Lumley. He had absolutely no chance of swinging at that.
And it wasn't particularly a slow curve. That still had some good pop on it.
Yeah.
There it is again. First pitch strike to Kenny Scott, the catcher for BC. This is his first plate appearance of the ball game. He's the number 9 hitter. Lumley is ready. That misses for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. As Carson Lumley working very quickly here for Ontario on the mound. Here's the 1-1. That misses ball 2, and he's not missing by much.
No, those are all incredibly good pitches. I think, these umpires are some of the best in the country. I think they would have been called strikes.
No question. 2-1 now. That ball is hit to right center. It's going over center field, and it might be trouble, and it's off the hand of Noah Avis. Digging for third is Kenny Scott. He is in there with a triple, a one-out triple for Kenny Scott, and that lights up the British Columbia bench as Noah Avis was twisting and turning out there, and he just dove for it and it went off his glove. It was a tough play. He was battling the sun and the breeze, and it's a runner in scoring position now for BC with one away. So Kenny Scott on third. Was there any chance to send him home on that?
You know what? I actually thought they were going to send him home on that one. Honestly, I believe BC would have had a shot at a scoring from third there, but with one out, I think they're going to elect us to keep him there.
Jared Hall is the batter now for BC. He's the leadoff hitter. Swings and misses at the first pitch from Carson Lumley for strike one. Jared Hall is 0 for 1 in the ball game. He struck out to lead off the game. Big opportunity here for BC. Takes that pitch and it just misses. They throw down to third. It gets away from the catcher. Here comes the play at the plate, and it's a tie ball game. Something happened there between the catcher and the pitcher as Matt Isaacson somehow lost control of the ball, and coming home from third to tie the ball game is Kenny Scott. Wow, what a turn of events there. Did you see what happened?
No, I didn't. I was too busy writing down the strike in the notebook there. I did kind of see him release the ball. It looked like it kind of just slipped out of his fingers there. He didn't have a grip on it.
So I don't know whether you call that. I mean, it wasn't a passed ball. It wasn't a wild pitch. It was after the pitch. And I guess Matt Isaacson, the catcher for Ontario, as Whitby's coach, Ontario's coach, comes out to talk about exactly what happened there. There's no question that the runner was safe there. There was a play, but there was no way that they did not get Kenny. They did get Kenny Scott.
I'm thinking maybe what the Whitby coach is coming out to ask about is if there was time while the ball was being thrown back. A similar play actually happened when the Blue Jays were in the postseason a few years ago against Texas.
That's right. That's right. That was very reminiscent of that.
Yeah.
Very strange play there at the plate. Either way, it's a tie game. BC is equalized here. The count is 1-2 to Jared Hall. And he swings and misses at that pitch for strike three. That is the third strikeout of the ball game and the second time Jared Hall has been retired on strikes. 2 out now in the top of the third, and it'll be Tayo Boyle. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. I think what happened there, Matt Isaacson was ready to throw it down back to the pitcher, and he was maybe thinking of throwing it down to third, and it kind of came in between, and he just lost the handle on it.
Yeah, maybe you kind of got crossed up there.
But it's a big run for BC. Count is 0-1 now to Tayo Boyle as that first pitch was in there for a strike for Carson Lumley. That ball is in play. It's chopped. It's going to be a tough play. Lumley's got it. Throws it to first. Not in time. Tayo Boyle beats that out. Real tough play there for Carson Lumley as Ontario trying to control the ball here now as they finally have it in the infield. It's an infield single for Boyle and another base runner for BC here in the third with 2 away.
Yeah, that was a tough play. Even when Carson Lumley went to go field that ball, I already kind of knew in my head that's going to be a base hit nonetheless.
Tayo Boyle showing the blazing speed there to get down to first. Let's see what he does here. He does not run. The first pitch to the new batter, Brandon Leblanc, is outside, ball 1. Leblanc is 0 for 1 in the ball game. He lined out to first base in the first inning. 1-1 is the score here in the third inning. That pitch is fouled back. 1 ball and 1 strike. British Columbia 1, Ontario 1. Gold medal game, Ray Carter Cup. British Columbia equalizing things here in the top of the third. Ontario got its run in the bottom half of the first. Really exciting ball game, and you can see the shadows really now almost all the way through the infield. The outfield is in the sunshine. Their ball is in the dirt. Tayo Boyle goes, and he's got a stolen base. Good pitch to run on there. The ball was hard for Isaacson to catch, and he could not make a throw.
You know what? Boyle has some incredibly fast speed on that one. So I don't think there was a shot, even if he did catch it.
Boyle from Surrey, BC, now on second base and in scoring position. 2-1 is the count to Brandon Leblanc. That ball is hit to right field, and it's going to drop for a base hit. That is going to score Boyle from second. It's a 2-1 ball game on an RBI double by Brandon Leblanc. 2-1 British Columbia.
That ball was absolutely smoked to the right center gap. No way was able to cut that off and throw it in.
So a huge 2-out double by Leblanc puts British Columbia in the lead here in the top of the third inning. 2-1 BC. And there'll be a conference on the mound here as Ontario tries to slow the game down just a little bit. Noah Cassie will be the batter for British Columbia. He's the cleanup hitter. And he now has a runner in scoring position as British Columbia has surged out in front here in the top half of the third. Cassie is the first baseman. He is 0 for 1 in the ball game with a fly out to left. Lumley's pitch is swung and a missed. It gets away from the catcher. LeBlanc is going to go to third, and he's in there. The ball gets away to third baseline, and that's going to score as Isaacson throws it away. 3-1 BC.
What a turn of events here. What has happened to the usually sturdy Ontario defense?
British Columbia has struck for 3 runs here. Ontario looking a little rattled on the defensive side as a wild pitch moves Brandon LeBlanc to third, and he scores on an error as Isaacson fired it down to third, and it was nowhere near. There's a wild pitch as Lumley throws that away, but nobody on the base pass there. But BC has certainly taken over the momentum of this ball game. 3-1 BC, 2 away here, top 3. Pitches high to Noah Cassie. 2 balls and 1 strike. I'm sure you can hear the energy here in the stadium. We're near the BC bench right now, and it's very loud. That ball is hit high, sky high to left field. Left fielder giving a chase to it is Owen Finley. He can't get to it, and it's a foul ball. That ball went a long way down the left field line. It's a .352 shot to get it out of this ballpark, and I'll tell you, Cassie gave that one a ride.
Yeah, you know what, that ball looked like it was just hit just before the warning track, and that's probably around 335, 340 range.
So it lands harmlessly as a strike. Ontario will take that. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, nobody on. 3-1 BC. Lumley's pitch is in the dirt. Full count. 3 runs here for Ontario, or for BC rather, on 3 hits. Lumley pitch is hit to left field. It's another base hit for Noah Cassie. The beat goes on for British Columbia. Another base runner here with 2 away, and that will bring up Yanni Maram. And that's going to bring out Claire Osborne, assistant coach for Team Ontario, and he's going to talk things over, and BC has really taken control of this game right now.
I think it all started with the triple by Kenny Scott right there to start the inning. 1 out. He was really the catalyst at this point. I think once they get rolling, Carson Lumley seems to be in a little bit of a rut right now. He seems to be beating himself to a bigger and bigger hole.
So he's got to find a way to dig deep here and get an end to this inning for Ontario. They find themselves down 3-1. Kenny Scott hit a triple with 1 out, and then it was a single by Tayo Boyle and a double by Brandon LeBlanc. There's been a wild pitch. There's been a couple of errors, and there's a pitch in for a strike to Yanni Maram, the left fielder. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Grounded out to second back in the last inning, the second inning. The 0-1 pitch is a base hit to right field. That could send the runner all the way to third. Cassie is going to third. It's a single. Another hit for Yanni Maram, and BC now with runners at the corners with 2 out. What an explosion here by BC in the third inning. So 5 hits in this inning for British Columbia. 3 runs in and more to cash. They've got a runner at third and a runner at first. Noah Cassie at third, Yanni Maram at first. And the batter will be Carson Latimer, who is 1 for 1 in the ball game. He singled back in the second inning.
I understand Lumley is one of the top pitchers in the province's age group, but I am incredibly surprised Ontario has got no one going in the pen yet.
Pitch is in there for a strike from Carson Latimer as he looks to limit the damage here. BC with 3 runs and looking for more. Gold medal game, Ray Carter Cup, as the pendulum swings British Columbia's way here. Carson Latimer will look at that pitch from 0-1, and it's a strike swinging, and they throw down to third, and it almost got away from Nick King there at third base, as scrambling back is the third base runner, Noah Cassie. But as that was going on, Yanni Maram alertly takes second base.
Yeah, I believe he was on the move anyways, but that's a very questionable call by Matt Isaacson. Throw it down.
You don't want to throw it away another time. No. 0-2 is the count. Pitch is high, it's away, it's a wild pitch. Here comes Cassie, plate the plate, he's out! Matt Isaacson retrieves that ball and throws it to Carson Latimer, covering the plate to record the third out of the inning. And what a turn that is, as the threat ends. BC with 3 runs, they almost got a fourth, but the inning is over. 3 runs on 5 hits for BC in the top of the third. It's British Columbia 3, Ontario 1. You're watching the live stream broadcast of the gold medal game, Ray Carter Cup, Boys Under 15 Baseball Canada Championships on SportsCanada.TV. So we're ready to go here in the bottom of the third inning as the Shadows move out past second base now. And Ontario coming up to bat here in the bottom of the third inning, trailing this gold medal game to British Columbia now 3-1. BC with 3 runs in an electrifying top of the third inning. So Ryan Heppner back on the mound now for BC. That ball is hit to the first baseman, and it's past him for a base hit. Noah Cassie could not come up with it. And it's a leadoff single for Owen Findlay. Owen Findlay, the left fielder for Ontario, gets things started as Ontario looks to get back those runs that they gave up in the top of the third inning. Leadoff hitter, nobody out, and it'll bring up Liam Conway, the first baseman.
Well, because we're towards the bottom of the order, it'll be interesting to see if Ontario's going to play a little bit of small ball here and play it on a sack bunt situation.
That ends a streak of 3 strikeouts for Ryan Heppner as he throws that first pitch into Liam Conway. He lunged at it, thought second, took it back, and it's a strike, 0-1. Owen Findlay at first base for Team Ontario. They trail 3-1. Heppner's pitch is in the dirt, and a great block by Kenny Scott. That's a great block in order to keep the base runner at first.
Yeah, that was a great play by Kenny Scott there, sliding off to his right to get that changeup. Great play.
Count is 1 ball and 1 strike to Liam Conway. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Nobody out here for Ontario. Bottom of the third inning. Ontario is the home team. Both teams wearing red jerseys with white pants. That pitch is popped up. Could be playable. Noah Cassie trying to come over here on the first base side. And he's got it for the out. Blocked from our view here. We just can't see right in front of the dugout there. You had a better view at home, but
I don't know if they saw that. I think this, like, the camera ends just past the foul line. The play was made beside that.
So it's an out as Noah Cassie catches that in foul territory for the first out of the inning. Owen Finley has to hold it first. That turns the lineup over to Zach Curris. He singled and scored the only run for Ontario back in the first inning as he fouls that first pitch away and out of the stadium onto Arena Street. 0-1. One run on 3 hits so far for Ontario. We're in the bottom of the third inning in this gold medal game. Ryan Heppner's pitch is in play. It's on the first base line, and they let it roll foul as Heppner picks it up in foul territory, and probably a good decision from British Columbia's standpoint because that would have been a hard play to get Zach Curris at first, and we've already seen a close one with him already.
Yeah, absolutely. Ryan Heppner picked the ball up just as Zach Curris passed him. I don't think he would have had a shot anyways.
So the count now is no balls and 2 strikes to Zach Curris. Ontario batting here, bottom of the third. 1 out, 1 on. Ryan Heppner is ready. Pitch taken for a ball. Very close, but outside. Count is 1-2. Owen Finley is the base runner at first for Ontario. He gets a little bit of a lead there, and Heppner's pitch is in. Taken for a strike, and BC wanted the call, but they didn't get it. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, Brian, you said I thought that was strike 3 as well. Apparently just outside.
2-2 pitch now from Heppner. It's in play, and it's a base hit up the middle. Zach Curris, 2 for 2 in the ball game. Owen Finley moves up to second. Ontario now with runners at first and second with 1 away. And that will bring up Greg Lachance. And it seems like a long time ago, but Greg Lachance hit a huge double in the first inning to score Zach Curris from first base. So he's 1 for 1 in the ball game, and probably a batter that Ontario would like to have up in this situation here with first and second and 1 out.
Yeah, considering his clutches in the first inning, let's see if he can repeat his little bit of magic here and do it again in the third.
So first and second for Ontario, 1 away. BC looking for a double play to get out of the inning. Ryan Heppner steps off. Runners go back to their bases. And once again, another big moment. There's already been a lot of big moments in this ball game. We're just in the third inning. Heppner's pitch is taken for a strike. 0-1 to Greg Lachance.
Nice pitch, Ryan. Let's go, kid. Shoot him down there now, bud.
Heppner is ready to go. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Nice pitch there by Heppner to get ahead of the batter. Greg Lachance from Whitby, Ontario, a student at Anderson Collegiate, is down 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. It's in play. Tough play for third baseman, throwing it over to first, and nice dig there by Noah Cassie to haul that in from Carson Latimer. That's a terrific defensive play by the third baseman to get a very fast Greg Lachance at first. 2 out. The runners move up now, and the tying runs are in scoring position for Ontario. And here's the catcher, Matt Isaacson, and he would like nothing better to get a hit here after what happened to him defensively in the last inning.
Time is called as there's going to be a trip to the mound. It looks like there's going to be a little bit of conversation for BC at this point. Brian, not really sure what they can be talking about in this situation. Possibly whether they want to walk him, load the bases, make a force out anywhere, or they're just going to go right at him.
Well, if they did walk Isaacson, they would be walking him to face the cleanup hitter, Carson Lumley. And tough decision to make, of course, with runners in scoring position. You might see a surprise bunt here, even though he's the number 3 hitter and probably a power hitter. Ontario looking at any way to get a run here. They are down 3-1 here in the bottom of the third inning. Runners at second and third, tying runs in scoring position. Heppner's pitch is hammered hard to left field. It's a foul ball. Isaacson squared that one up, but he was early on it. Got good wood on that, so let's see what he does here now against Ryan Heppner. Ontario looking to tie the ball game here in the third inning. Heppner will step off. Isaacson is 0 for 1 in the ball game. He struck out in the first inning. Carson Lumley, the cleanup hitter, awaiting on deck. 2 out here. Count is 0-1 to Matt Isaacson. Ball is hit to the outfield. Center fielder Jared Hall is there, he's under it, he's got it. The inning is over. Ontario strands runners at second and third, unable to score. We've played 3 complete innings here at Kinsman Civic Memorial Stadium in Oshawa, Ontario. Gold medal game of the Ray Carter Cup. It is British Columbia 3, Ontario 1. You're watching the live stream Under 15 Baseball Canada Championship on SportsCanada.TV. So we're ready to go to the 4th inning now here at Kinsman Civic Memorial Stadium, Oshawa, Ontario. Glad you could join us here on SportsCanada.TV, this live stream broadcast. Brian Oliver along with Jacob Ebbs, and we are seeing an outstanding ball game here as these 2 strong teams in this tournament going at it for the gold medal, Ontario and British Columbia. BC was the bronze medalist last year in this tournament. Ontario looking to defend gold. And Ontario trailing BC after 3 innings by a score of 3-1. 1 run for Ontario in the first and 3 runs for BC in the third. And we look like we have a new catcher here for Ontario. Jackson Hutchison has come into the ball game to catch for Ontario. And that change likely a reflection of a couple of throwing mistakes made by Matt Isaacson in the last inning that was part of a 3-run inning for BC in the third. Carson Latimer is the leadoff hitter for British Columbia here in the 4th inning. He swings and misses at strike 1 from Carson Lumley. Carson versus Carson. Carson Latimer is 1 for 1 in the ballgame with a single. That pitch from Carson Lumley is in there for a strike, 0-2. Shadows pushing further out into the outfield now as the sun sets in the western sky here in Oshawa. 0-2 pitch is swung at it, missed a late cut there from Carson Latimer, and he's out on strikes. That is strikeout number 5. Sorry, correction, strikeout number 4 in the ball game for Carson Lumley. The batter will be Everett Swaim. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. He grounded out to the pitcher in the second. Pitch is high. 1-0. BC again with 3 runs on 5 hits. Pitch is taken. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike to Everett Swaim, the shortstop for BC. 1-1 pitch, check swing, doesn't bring it back in time. That's a strike, 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's Carson Lumley and Ontario looking to get a shutdown inning here and start trying to turn the momentum back their way.
Yeah, absolutely. They've had a tough few innings here, or realistically only the third that's been incredibly tough for them so far.
Swaim did not check his swing there, close check swing, but umpire rules that he went around, so that is strikeout number 5 for Carson Lumley. 2 away here quickly for BC in the top of the 4th, and it will be Ryan Heppner, the pitcher for British Columbia, coming on. He is 0 for 1 in the ball game with a strikeout looking. Nobody on base here for BC in the 4th. 3-1, they lead it. Popped foul, out of play. Carson Lumley with a head 0-1 here on Ryan Heppner. That pitch is high and tight. 1 ball, 1 strike. British Columbia 3 runs on 6 hits. Ontario 1 run on 4 hits. Time is called by the catcher, and Jackson Hutchison, the new catcher for Ontario, will go out and talk to Carson Lumley. Hutchison just coming into the ball game, replacing Matt Isaacson. So maybe they're just going over their signals since it is a new battery here. And as a pitcher, what is it like when a catcher comes into the game when you're pitching?
Yeah, you know what? It can be incredibly tough. I haven't really had too much an issue with a new catcher, but usually the sun just set before the inning. In a situation like this where these guys are coming from all over and maybe different, signals for each catcher, that could be really confusing and just getting led to.
2-1 now to Ryan Heppner. That ball is squared up the middle. It's a base hit for Ryan Heppner. A 2-out single and the 7th hit of the ball game for BC. That was solid wood on that one. And it's a runner at first with 2 away, and that will bring up Kenny Scott. And Kenny Scott, last time up, hit a triple. And that ignited a 3-run inning for BC in the 3rd inning. So Kenny Scott has been red hot in this game, and he looks down for the signals here. He's got a base runner this time as he comes up. His pitcher, Ryan Heppner, is at first base with 2 away here. And he hits that one hard to center field. That one is in the gap. That is going to go past the center fielder, and here comes Ryan Heppner around 3rd. No play at home. 4-1 British Columbia. Kenny Scott does it again. He has a triple and a double now. And it's 4-1 BC as he clocked that one to center field, and no chance at all for Noah Avis to get that one.
Yeah, that ball was absolutely hit on the screws again.
Carson Lumley's first pitch here to Jared Hall. Runner at second. That's a strike, by the way. 0-1 now, the count to Jared Hall. 2 out, runner on second. BC leading 4-1. Lumley misses with that pitch, a ball and a strike. As Jared Hall comes to the plate, he's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Kenny Scott, the number 9 hitter in the BC lineup, with a triple and a double in this game. Hot bat. Swing and a miss there from Jared Hall. The count is a ball and 2 strikes now with 2 away. BC with the run here, a big one. Kenny Scott with an RBI double. Here's the 1-2. Swung at it, missed, and waved at. And Jared Hall is retired on strikes for the 3rd time in the ball game. But British Columbia does come away with a run on 2 hits. Kenny Scott with an RBI double to put British Columbia up 4-1. We've played 3.5 innings here at Kinsman Civic Memorial Stadium, Oshawa, Ontario. Gold medal game, British Columbia 4, Ontario 1. You're watching the Ray Carter Cup Boys Under 15 Baseball Canada Championships on SportsCanada.TV. So we go to the bottom of the 4th inning here at Kinsman Civic Stadium in Oshawa, Ontario. Glad you could join us from wherever you are watching across the country. We expect that there will be a lot of fan interest, of course, in British Columbia, as their provincial team is leading this gold medal game 4-1 here. As we go to the bottom of the 4th inning, British Columbia with 3 runs in the 3rd inning and 1 run in the 4th. Ontario scored a single run back in the 1st inning. 4-1 for British Columbia. 4 runs, unofficially 4 runs on 8 hits for British Columbia, 1 run on 4 hits for Ontario. There have been a couple of errors defensively for Ontario so far in this game. Ryan Heppner, the starting pitcher for BC, stays in the game. And as we'll keep an eye on his pitch count, Jake, it looks like he is in around 65 pitches, and they can throw a maximum of 95. So he does have some room left, and he's been pitching very well so far in the game.
Yeah, Heppner's been pitching really efficiently so far, considering he started the game at 20 pitches from pitching earlier in the day in the semifinals. It's going to be really interesting to see. They're probably just going to let him ride out to 95 before they get anything going.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's you go with what's going for you. Carson Lumley is the batter for Ontario. He takes a pitch outside, after taking a pitch over the plate. So the count is 1-1 strike to Carson Lumley. He hit into a fielder's choice in the first inning. He's the pitcher for Ontario. He swings and misses at that pitch. 1-2 strikes. Ryan Heppner ahead here.
Lumley took his head right off that curveball. I don't think he was expecting it either way. Got to keep your head in when you're in there.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung at it, missed. Strike 3. A leadoff strikeout for British Columbia here in the Ontario 4th inning. And that is strikeout number 5 in the game for Ryan Heppner. The batter will be Griffin Cato. He's the EH, the extra hitter for Ontario in the lineup, jersey number 66. He is 0 for 1 in the ball game. He lined into a double play back in the first to end what looked like a big rally for Ontario. Fouls away the first pitch, 0-1.
Everything right now seems to be going BC's way. No matter if it be defense, offense, or pitching, it's all going for them at this point.
Heppner's 0-1 pitch is put on the ground, and it's past Carson Latimer at third base. A hard hit ball by Griffin Cato, and it's a base runner for Ontario with one away here in the 4th inning, trailing 4-1. That's hit number 5 in the game. Cato is 1 for 2, and that'll bring up Noah Avis. Noah Avis is 0 for 1 in the game. He struck out leading off the 2nd inning for Ontario. Third baseman in very tight here as the first pitch from Ryan Heppner is in there for a strike. Carson Latimer well in on the grass here at third base to protect against any kind of bunt. Runner at first, one away for Ontario. They trail 4-1. Pitch is off speed and it's in the dirt, 1-1. The base runner is Griffin Cato at first base. Noah Avis is the batter, and he will look at a strike. 1-2 strikes now to the number 24 jersey of Ontario. Center fielder for Ontario in this game. Ontario looking for some kind of rally here. That ball is chopped to the shortstop. Everett Swain will go to second for 1. On to first, not in time. Fielder's choice, but it's the second out of the inning as Griffin Cato is forced out at second.
Yeah, tough play trying to turn that. It was almost impossible just because of the trajectory of the ground ball there. Spiked right into there. By the time the shortstop, Everett Swain, had it, there was no chance.
So a runner on first for Ontario now with 2 away here in the bottom of the 4th inning, and it will be the third baseman, Nick King. And he will look at strike 1. Ryan Heppner now at 76 pitches. Here's the 0-1. It's high. Ball and a strike to Nick King. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. He struck out in the 2nd inning. The base runner at first is Noah Avis for Ontario. 4-1 BC here in the bottom of the 4th. Off-speed pitch is fouled and in the dirt, so it's 1-2. Just a little bit of sunshine left now in right field. So the lights are on now here at Kinsman Stadium. 1-2 pitch to Nick King. It's lifted to right field. The right fielder gets there and makes a terrific diving catch. Brandon Leblanc had to go face first into the ground, diving like an airplane to make that catch in right field to end the inning, and if that had gotten by him, Noah Avis would have been off to the races. So it's a runner left on base, no runs across for Ontario here in the 4th in a 4-1 ball game. British Columbia leading this gold medal game here at Kinsman Stadium in Oshawa. You're watching the live stream broadcast of the Ray Carter Cup Boys Under 15 Baseball Canada Championships on SportsCanada.TV. Exciting ball game here at Kinsman Stadium in Oshawa, Ontario. Glad you could join us on the live stream here on SportsCanada.TV. Brian Oliver along with Jacob Ebbs. We go to the 5th inning. British Columbia with a 4-1 lead in this gold medal game of the Ray Carter Cup, coming to bat here in the 5th inning, and we've seen a lot of fireworks in this game already, Jake, as we just go past the halfway point.
I think we've seen a pretty good collection of everything so far. It's almost like this game is kind of important.
I would agree. We're going to see a pinch hitter here for British Columbia. Malachi Dubry will come in here for BC, pinch hitting for Tayo Boyle, and he looks at ball 1 from Carson Lumley. He's from Richmond, British Columbia. Malachi Dubry swings and misses at that pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 pitch is fouled, and wow, right through the legs of the third base coach, and he had to dance away. He saw his life flash in front of him right there. Holy mackerel, that was close.
And he seems to be vacating the third base spot. He is done for the day, I think.
He's going home.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3 as Dubry goes down on strikes. That is the 7th strikeout of the game for Carson Lumley, the Ontario pitcher, as he is now to 72 pitches in the ball game and go a maximum of 95. And that'll bring up Brandon Leblanc in. He was 1 for 2 in the ball game. He hit a double, knocked in a run back in the 3rd, and made an outstanding catch just moments ago in the Ontario 4th inning to rob Nick King. First pitch is outside the zone, 1-0 to Brandon Leblanc. British Columbia batting here, top of the 5th inning. They are the visiting team in this championship game. Pitch is in there for a strike at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike as Carson Lumley continues. He's given up 4 runs on 8 hits. He has struck out 7, but he's given up a couple of loud hits in this game as British Columbia has brought the bats. LeBlanc looks at that strike. 2, 1 ball and 2 strikes now. The 1-2 pitch is hit to right center, and the right fielder is not able to catch it. Cody Hagerman dives for it, but he came up short. It's a base hit for Brandon LeBlanc and a base runner here now for BC. 1 out and 1 on for Noah Cassie, the first baseman.
The offense is not dying for BC. They are not taking the foot off the gas pedal. They keep giving it to Carson Lumley.
9th hit of the ball game, unofficially, for BC. Noah Cassie in this game is 1 for 2 with a single. And he looks at ball 1 from Carson Lumley as his pitch count begins to creep up now to 77. Can throw a maximum of 95. The 1-0 pitch is in there for a strike. Brandon LeBlanc is the base runner at first for British Columbia, looking to add on to a 4-1 lead here in the top half of the 5th inning. Gold medal game, national championship. Runner goes, throw down to second. Hutchison is not able to get him. Stolen base for Brandon LeBlanc.
That marks Lumley's 80th pitch, and Ontario's still nothing going in the bullpen.
Noah Cassie, the batter, looking to cash in a run now in scoring position. Swing and a miss, big cut from Cassie there. The count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. One away here, runner at second for BC. Pitch misses. Low and away for ball 3. The count runs full. Noah Cassie, as mentioned, 1 for 2 in the game with a single. Looking to keep the lineup going here for BC. 3-2 pitch taken, and it's a ball. Just missing. It's a walk as Cassie goes down to first base. Runners at first and second now with 1 out, and that will bring up Yanni Maram. And the left fielder will come to the plate, and we are going to probably see a pinch runner here. So Hayden Cuthbertson comes in to pinch run for Noah Cassie. So he's on at first base now. Cassie could certainly re-enter the game later on in the re-entry rules. So Hayden Cuthbertson now the base runner for BC at first. First and second, one away. Another opportunity knocking here for British Columbia as Lumley's pitch is in there for a strike. And you just get the feeling if British Columbia puts something else across here, it could be an almost insurmountable lead. That pitch misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ontario with the early momentum in this game, but it's been all BC the last few innings.
Yeah, it's been quashed right now by BC. Body language of Ontario right now doesn't seem to be too positive. They seem really down, really out of it. Like I said before, BC is just rolling over them right now.
The 1-1 pitch is in there for strike 2 to Yanni Maram. 1 for 2 in the ball game with a single. Looking to add on to his team's 4-1 lead here in the top of the 5th of this national championship game. Carson Lumley gets that pitch. It's chopped to third base, and it goes foul. Nick King tried to grab it before it went foul and step on third to force the runner to get a quick out there, but it just was foul. So we'll do it again. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Marome. Carson Latimer, the third baseman for British Columbia, awaits on deck. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Carson Lumley, fouled away. Good battle here, Jake.
Yeah, really interesting battle here. I wouldn't be surprised here if Lumley is going to raise the eye levels here, maybe put a fastball just over the letters.
The 1-2 pitch once again from Carson Lumley. The runner goes from second. The ball misses. No, it's a strikeout. And down at third, safe at third on the running with the pitch was Brandon Leblanc. The runners advance. It's a strikeout looking for Yanni Marome. 8th strikeout of the ball game. The runners do, though, advance to scoring position now with 2 away for Carson Latimer.
This is a really, really big at-bat for Latimer here. If he can put a ball into the outfield at this point, that'll be 2 runs, and I think that'll be the dagger that kills Ontario.
Foul ball to the right side as Carson Latimer pulls that one to the right side. He's 1 for 2 in the game, had a single in the second. He struck out in the 4th. And that was pitch number 90 for Carson Lumley, so he's quickly approaching the end of the runway here as far as the pitch count goes. He can throw 95. And now we do see the activity in the Ontario bullpen. That ball is hit to third base. Nick King bobbles it, throws it hard to first, and out at first. Nick King throws it over, and Liam Conway scoops it for a huge out and saving a run. British Columbia turned away here in the top of the 5th. No runs, 1 hit, 2 runners left on base. We've played 4.5 innings in the gold medal national championship game, Ray Carter Cup. Boys Under 15 Baseball Canada Championships. You're watching it here live on the live stream on SportsCanada.TV. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning here at Kinsman Civic Memorial Stadium, Oshawa, Ontario. Gold medal national championship game on the live stream here on SportsCanada.TV. It's the Ray Carter Cup Boys Under 15 Baseball Canada Championship game. Great one going on here now as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It is British Columbia leading Ontario 4-1. British Columbia with 4 runs on 9 hits unofficially. Ontario with 1 run on 5 hits. Scheduled hitters here for Ontario in the bottom of the 5th inning will be the 8, 9, and 10 hitters, Cody Hagerman, Owen Finley, and Liam Conway. Ryan Heppner stays in the game here for British Columbia. He started the game with a pitch count of 19 because he threw 19 pitches in the semifinal win for BC earlier today against Prince Edward Island. Prince Edward Island, by the way, won the bronze medal earlier today, so he's at 79 pitches coming into this inning. I think it's a 79. It's either 70 or 79. I can't see the number exactly. Heppner's first pitch to Cody Hagerman is a strike, swinging.
Yeah, 79. That is pitch number 80 from Heppner.
So he will try and squeeze in another inning here for BC. He's been dynamite so far in this game. The 0-1 pitch is high. 1 ball and 1 strike to Cody Hagerman. He is 0 for 1 in the ball game. He struck out swinging in the 2nd inning, so this is just his 2nd at bat of the game. The right-handed batter is ready. Heppner's pitch is hammered to right side of the field, and it's a foul ball. Huge crowd here at Kinsman Stadium, Jake, as we can see people all down the left field line. We can't see the right field line, but we know it's busy down there too.
Yeah, you know, you sort of expected this. This place is packed.
Just fouling that 1-2 pitch away is Cody Hagerman to stay alive. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nobody on here for Ontario in the bottom of the 5th. They are the home team. They are trailing 4-1. Heppner's pitch off the glove of his catcher, Kenny Scott, and it's a ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That is the 84th pitch for Ryan Heppner, so he has 11 pitches left. Heppner's pitch is high. Ball 3, 3-2. So Hagerman working back in the count here, and Ontario looking for a leadoff base runner as they try and get back in this ball game. Just down 3. That ball is chopped foul. Hagerman doing a good job of staying alive.
8th pitch coming up here. He is putting a great bat together.
Yeah, these are the kind of at-bats that really can wear down a pitcher. So it'll be a full count pitch to Hagerman. Fouled away again. Huge battle going on here between Hagerman and Ryan Heppner. Here's the 3-2 pitch once again. It's high, ball 4, and what an at-bat put together there by Cody Hagerman as he earned his way big time down to first base. It's a leadoff walk for Ontario, and that will bring up Owen Finley, who has 1 of the 5 hits in the game. He's 1 for 1 in the ball game for Ontario. He singled back in the 3rd inning. Ontario needing base runners here in the bottom of the 5th inning, trailing 4-1. Third baseman Carson Latimer is in very tight here to protect against a bunt. Heppner's pitch is hammered to center field. It's a base hit. Hagerman will get into second very quickly to avoid the force out. And now 2 on for Ontario with nobody out. And that brings up the first baseman, Liam Conway. And BC's going to talk about things right now as Ryan Heppner, I believe, Jake, if I'm not mistaken, he's at 89 pitches.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing over there. 89, giving him 6 pitches to work with. He can easily get for 1 batter, possibly 2 if he works well.
Now, with the pitch count rules, you just cannot start a batter after 95 pitches. If you start a batter, say, with 94 pitches, you can complete the batter. But after that, a new pitcher has to come into the ball game. So either way, at some point soon, Heppner is going to have to leave the ball game. But he's in a jam here now with runners at first and second for Ontario and nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and the tying run comes to the plate with Liam Conway. Bunt.
The wheel plays on.
They will throw down to first. It's a perfectly executed sacrifice bunt by Liam Conway to advance Cody Hagerman to third and Owen Findlay to second. One away now in the Ontario fifth inning, the bottom of the inning, and that'll turn the lineup over to Zach Curris. And the strategy there, you look at Zach Curris coming up now. He's 2 for 2 in the ball game with a couple of singles.
Absolutely great work there.
And that's going to be the end of the line for Ryan Heppner. So Ryan Heppner gets a huge round of applause here as we see a pitching change for BC. Ryan Heppner pitched just a dandy game here, and he leaves the ball game with runners at second and third. And let's see who the new pitcher is, Jake. Do you see who it is?
I did not know.
So we'll try and get all the defensive switches for you here as we see Tayo Boyle at second base. 17 coming in now for BC. And it's Tyson Dingsdale will take over on the mound for British Columbia. Tyson Dingsdale will take over for Ryan Heppner. So he'll get his warm-up pitches in here. It gives us a chance to remind you that the Boys Under 15 Baseball Canada Championships on SportsCanada.TV are brought to you by Major League Baseball, MLB, Toronto Blue Jays, Baseball Canada, Dairy Queen, Kahunaverse Sports Group, Rawlings, Mizuno, SportsCanada.TV, Durham College, Residence Conference Centers, GCBS, Group of Companies, Play It Again Sports, TorontoCharters.com, and MyCore Insurance. So one away here, Ontario batting in the bottom of the fifth inning in a 4-1 ball game. BC leading it with 3 runs in the third, 1 in the fourth. Ontario's only run of the ball game coming back in the first, but they have runners in scoring position, and the tying run coming to the plate here with Zach Curris.
This is going to be incredibly interesting at bat for the top of the shot for Zach Curris here. 2 for 2 actually on the day. Let's see if he can get 2 more RBIs with this one here.
So the teammates coming down to wipe the face of the new BC pitcher, Tyson Dingsdale. Coming on in just a huge situation here. National championship game and your team up 4-1.
Yeah, this is an incredibly important at-bat going towards this game.
So we'll see what we can figure out what the other defensive changes are. In all likelihood, Ryan Heppner stayed in the ball game, but we'll try and figure out where everyone is. In fact, Ryan Heppner is at short now. Ryan Heppner at short. So we're ready to go. 4-1 is the score. Ontario now with the tying run at the plate. Zach Curris is 2 for 2 in the ball game, and he's got runners in scoring position with 1 away here. Dingsdale's pitch is in there for a strike. Zach Curris singled and scored the only run of the game so far for Ontario in the first inning. He also singled in the third. Huge situation here for Ontario as they try and get a couple of those runs back. Dingsdale's pitch is high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Dingsdale is ready to go. Kenny Scott's giving him the signal. Here's the 1-1. That ball is lifted to left field. It could be trouble. And it is. It gets past the left fielder. Yanni Maram cannot get there. 2 runs are going to score. It's a 2-run double for Zach Curris. 3 for 3 in the ball game, and Ontario is back in business. So Cody Hagerman scoring and Owen Findlay scoring. And it's 4-3. So the sacrifice bunt paying off big time for Ontario as the tying run is now at second for Ontario. And I have it with 1 out. The scoreboard says 2 out. I believe there's just 1 out here in the
Yeah, I only have one out. The only out being Liam Conway, the sack bunt.
So the batter will be Greg Lachance. Swings and misses at strike one from Tyson Dingsdale, who's come on here for Ryan Heppner, but he gives up a bloop double as Yanni Maram could not catch that. He laid out for it and could not get it, and it got past him. And Pearce went all the way to second. So a runner now in scoring position to try and tie this game. That ball is hit to second base. Tayo Boyle throws it to first to record the out. 2 away. And Pearce, the tying run, comes down to third. So Jackson Hutchison will come up now. He's the catcher for Ontario. He came on midway through the game for Matt Isaacson. So this is his first at bat of the ball game, and he comes up in a huge situation here for Ontario. Jackson Hutchison from Whitby comes up with the tying run at third base. His team is down 4-3. They've rallied for 2 here to get back in the ball game. 2 out. Two runs in here for Ontario. All started with a walk to Cody Hagerman on that great at bat when he saw, I think, 9 or 10 pitches, Jake.
Yeah, going back to what he did, I'm pretty sure it was 9 pitches there. Great start to it all.
Dingsdale's pitch to Jackson Hutchison is in there for a strike, 0-1. Zach Pearce is at third base with a tying run for Ontario here in the bottom of the 5th. Dingsdale is ready. That pitch is low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hagerman started with a walk. Owen Finley singled. Liam Conway sacrificed the runners to second and third, and then Zach Pearce doubled them home. 4-3. Greg Lachance grounded out moments ago to get Pearce to third, and here's Jackson Hutchison. Count as a ball and a strike. That ball is hit to the right side. It's chopped foul. Count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tyson Dingsdale. British Columbia's pitcher coming on here for Ryan Heppner after that sacrifice bunt. Trying to close things out here in the 5th inning and maintain a 1-run lead for BC in this national championship game. The 1-2 pitch is hit to second base. Tayo Boyle has got it. He throws on to first, and the inning is over. Ontario leaves the tying run at third base. The inning is over. So it's 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 runner left on base. We've played 5 innings in a dynamite gold medal game here at the Ray Carter Cup 2019. Boys under Canada, under 15. Boys under 15 Baseball Canada Championships on SportsCanada.TV. We go to the 6th inning at Kinsman Civic Memorial Stadium in Oshawa, Ontario, as dusk sets in on a outstanding baseball venue in southern Ontario, and a huge crowd watching this national championship game, the under 15 Baseball Canada Championships here on SportsCanada.TV. Brian Oliver along with Jacob Ebbs. As we go to the 6th inning, it is a 4-3 lead for British Columbia over Ontario. It was 4-1. Ontario getting a couple of runs there back in the bottom of the 5th inning to make it 4-3. 4 runs on 9 hits for British Columbia. 3 runs on 7 hits for Ontario. And I think we're going to see a pinch hitter to start this inning for British Columbia, as grabbing a bat for BC is jersey number 19, and that is Pearce Radke from Pitt Meadows, BC. Everett Swaim was the scheduled hitter for BC, the shortstop, so Pearce Radke will pinch hit here as Swaim was 0 for 2 in the ball game. So top of the 6th inning, British Columbia leading 4-3 over Ontario. Great ball game here. It'll be the 7, 8, 9 hitters for BC here in the 6th inning as Radke looks at a strike from Carson Lumley, who stays in the ball game but is very close to the end of his pitch count. Lumley's pitch is high, ball 1. Pearce Radke pinch hitting for Everett Swaim to lead off the 6th inning here for British Columbia. They have a 1-run lead and would like some insurance. The 1-1 pitch is low. 2 balls and 1 strike. And I can't see exactly what the number is. It looks like he's at 93,
I believe.
92 or 93 pitches here. This might be the last batter for Carson Lumley for Ontario. Check swing, and he goes around. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, this will be his last batter here.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on a missed for strike 3. That is the 9th strikeout of the ball game for starting pitcher Carson Lumley of Ontario, and that is going to be it. He is out of pitches, and that brings out Claire Osborne from the Ontario bench, and we're going to see a pitching change now for Ontario as both pitchers, starting pitchers, have reached their pitch count limit, and Carson Lumley will leave the game trailing 4-3, but his team very much in the ball game, and he will stay in the game. And he will go out, looks like he's going to go to right field.
Placing Cody Hagerman.
So Lumley is through as Cody Hagerman, the right fielder, comes out of the ball game. And that looks like it's going to be Ryan Liang coming in to pitch for Ontario, number 54. Hard-throwing right-hander. We've seen him a couple of times in the tournament. Will come into the ball game. So Ryan Liang will come into the ball game for Ontario. British Columbia batting here in the top of the 6th inning. 1 out, nobody on. They lead it, as I said, 4-3. Ryan Liang will come into the game for Ontario, and Jake, it sounded like he's going to start this game with a pitch count of 30 because it sounds like he has already thrown 30 pitches.
Yeah, he must have thrown 30 pitches today. Again, possibly just being used again in the medal contention games, semifinals. That being said, 65 pitches to go through approximately 2 innings. That most certainly can be done.
That's correct. Ryan Liang did pitch in that semifinal win for Ontario earlier today over Manitoba. Ontario beating Manitoba in the semifinal game 5-1. Ryan Liang throwing 30 pitches in that game. So he can go 95 pitches if necessary. So he's got a lot of pitching space, but he has thrown 30 pitches earlier in the day. So this will be, I think, his 3rd pitching appearance of the tournament. And he comes on here with his team trailing by a run in the top of the 6th inning. And the batter will be Diego Fuentes. He will bat in Ryan Heppner's spot. And he fouls that pitch. It goes off the catcher, Jackson Hutchison. And the pitcher, or the umpire rather, will go out and buy a little time here for the catcher to recover.
That was a hard foul ball right off the mask of Hutchison there. Looks to be okay. Kind of was wondering why the umpire was going out to give him the ball, not himself there.
Here's the 0-1 pitch, swung at a missed, strike 2. Diego Fuentes pinch hitting here for Ryan Heppner. Heppner was 1 for 2 in the ball game was the starting pitcher for BC, then moved to shortstop. We may see him come back into the game on defense after this at bat. Fuentes takes that pitch. It's 1-2. British Columbia batting, top 6, 1 out. Nobody on. The 1-2 pitch, swung and a missed, strike 3. A powerful fastball there from Ryan Liang, 2 away.
Great pitch sequence there by Liang there. Fastball, changeup, fastball to get him out there.
So 2 away, nobody on, and that brings up Kenny Scott. Kenny Scott has been a tower of power in this game for British Columbia with a triple and a double and a run scored. He fouls that one away from Liang, 0-1.
Tower of power, that's a good one, I like that.
I think that's a line that Danny Gallivan used to use on Hockey Night in Canada many years ago. He was one of my favorite announcers, and I'm pretty sure I recall him saying that, Tower of Power.
I mean, that's pretty fair in Kenny Scott's situation. That guy has barreled up everything he's hit.
The 1-1 pitch is taken. Did he go around? He checked his swing. He did not go around, so it's 2 balls and 1 strike to Kenny Scott. The power-hitting catcher batting the number 9 slot, but he's had a triple and a double in this ball game. That ball is in play to the shortstop, and they will throw over to first to get the out. That is Zach Curris with a terrific defensive play. BC is turned aside, 3 up, 3 down in the 6th inning. So we've played 5.5 innings now. Ontario coming to bat, trailing 4-3 in this gold medal game at the Ray Carter Cup. You're watching the live stream coverage of the Boys Under 15 Baseball Canada Championships on SportsCanada.TV. So we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, Ontario trailing British Columbia 4-3 in the gold medal national championship game of the Ray Carter Cup. Boys Under 15 Baseball Canada Championships here on SportsCanada.TV. It's been a classic all the way. And the new left fielder for BC is Justin Zabunski, now in left field for BC. The leadoff hitter here for Ontario is Carson Lumley. He is 0 for 2 in the ball game, hit into a fielder's choice and struck out. And pitching is Pearce Radke now for British Columbia. Hard-throwing right-hander now on the mound for BC. The 0-1 pitch is in there, strike 2. Carson Lumley doesn't like it. Ontario trailing by a run, tying run here at the plate here for Ontario in the bottom of the 6th inning. Pitch is swung on and missed, strike 3. Carson Lumley slams his bat into the ground in frustration. He's the first strikeout victim of the game for Pearce Radke. So that brings up Griffin Cato in this bottom of the 6th inning with 1 away, nobody on. He is the tying run. He is 1 for 2 in the ball game. He singled in the 4th. He lined into a double play in the 1st. 4-3, British Columbia leading this game over Ontario. Gold medal national championship on the line. Radke's pitch is high. Ball 1. We see Carson Latimer, the third baseman, in very close at third base, making sure there's no bunt, or at least trying to defend a bunt. The 1-0 pitch is high. Ball 2 to Griffin Cato, the EH extra hitter for Ontario. BC does not want to give up any base runners here. Ontario certainly looking to get on base and try and tie this game. That pitch is in for a strike, 2-1.
Yeah, I think that's exactly why Latimer is crouched in at third base. Griffin Cato, he can run a little bit. He's got a little bit of speed down the line, so if anything goes, he's going to be able to field the ball there.
He's also got some power we've seen earlier on in the tournament for his Ontario team. The 2-1 pitch taken for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes as Pearce Radke, the BC pitcher, battles back to even the count. 1 away, nobody on here for Ontario in the bottom of the 6th inning. Radke is ready. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 consecutive strikeouts for Radke. 2 away, nobody on, and that will bring up Noah Avis. He is the center fielder for Ontario in this game. He is 0 for 2 with a strikeout, and he hit into a fielder's choice in the 4th. Radke is ready to go, and it's a bunt. Fielding it at third and throwing to first. What a play!
Wow.
Carson Latimer getting that ball in, and that's why he was in tight. And he grabbed that pitch on the run and threw off balance and got a speedy Noah Avis at first base, and the inning is over. 3 up and 3 down. Ontario turned aside. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. 6 innings complete and 1 inning to go. The 7th inning coming up. You're watching the live stream broadcast of the Ray Carter Cup Boys Under 15 Baseball Canada Championships on SportsCanada.TV. So we go to the 7th inning here at Kinsman Civic Memorial Stadium, Oshawa, Ontario, on a beautiful night for baseball. And what a game we've been watching so far here in the gold medal national championship game at the 2019 Ray Carter Cup Boys Under 15 Baseball Canada Championships on SportsCanada.TV. My name is Brian Oliver. I'm with Jacob Ebbs, and we go to the 7th inning. British Columbia coming to bat with a 4-3 lead. And moments ago, we just saw one of the best defensive plays of the tournament, maybe the best defensive play of the tournament, at third base by Carson Latimer to retire Noah Avis on a bunt attempt in the 6th inning.
Yeah, Carson Latimer made that play, short bunt play that had him off balance. What a perfect throw, threw a strike right to the first baseman. Definitely the best play I think I've seen so far.
Ryan Liang is the pitcher for Ontario. First pitch is to Jared Hall, and it's a ball. Jared Hall in this ball game is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Swings and misses at that pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. It's the top of the shop for BC here in the 7th inning. It'll be the 1, 2, and 3 slots in the batting order. Liang with a hard fastball in there for strike 2.
That painted the corner. I don't think you could have placed that any better. Ryan Lang is just carving through them right now.
Swing and a miss. Waved at by Jared Hall. He's out on strikes, 1 away here in the top of the 7th inning. as Liang gets his second strikeout since coming into the ball game. Jared Hall now 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. It's been a tough night at the plate for him. So that brings up Tayo Boyle, the second baseman. Looks at that pitch. It gets away from Jackson Hutchison. 1 ball and no strikes to Tayo Boyle. He is 1 for 3 in the ball game with a single and a run scored. He looks at ball 2 from Ryan Liang.
There's a little bit of action going on in the Ontario bullpen down the left field line. I believe Lang is well within his pitch count at this point. I guess we're preparing for extra innings at this point.
That's true. You never know what could happen here in the ball game, and you want to be ready in case something happens. Ryan Liang is behind here, 3 balls and no strikes, and he walks Tayo Boyle with 1 away on 4 straight pitches. So after striking out Jared Hall, he walks Tayo Boyle. And that brings up Brandon Leblanc. He is 2 for 3 in the ball game. He has a double and a run scored, and he also has a single. So he's had the hot bat in the number 3 slot for BC. He comes up with 1 out and 1 on. He looks at strike 1 from Ryan Liang. British Columbia looking for some insurance here. We'll keep an eye on Tayo Boyle. We know he's very speedy. Liang looks over, fires in. That's fouled back hard. We're seeing some big cuts and some very fast pitching here from Liang.
I think like a power pitch versus a power hitter, this is something you want to see. Lang here is barely taking a step when he's throwing to the plate, and he is just throwing heat.
That's fouled back. The count now, no balls and 2 strikes to Brandon Leblanc. British Columbia 4 runs on 9 hits. Ontario 3 runs on 7 hits. It's been a great ball game, and that pitch is high off speed, 1 and 2. Liang is ready. The 1-2 pitch is lifted to right field. It's a sky-high ball. Noah Avis is there in center field and under it to catch it, and that is the second out of the inning, and that will chase Tayo Boyle back to first.
Avis there looked like he was trying to figure out where that ball was at first. Thankfully, he didn't really have to really have to move too much to go get that one.
So Hayden Cuthbertson will come up to the plate now in the cleanup spot, in a big spot here for his team, trying to get some insurance before they go to the bottom of the 7th inning. 2 out, 1 on. Cuthbertson takes a strike from Ryan Liang. Ontario trailing 4-3. Gold medal game, national championship. Runner goes, throw down to second. It's going to be close. He's out. Jackson Hutchison guns down Tayo Boyle to end the British Columbia 7th inning. As Boyle is caught stealing, the inning is over. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on base. So this is it. Buckle your seats. We're going to the bottom of the 7th inning. Ontario coming up, trailing by a run, 4-3. You're watching the live stream broadcast of the Ray Carter Cup Boys Under 15 Baseball Canada Championships on SportsCanada.TV. So here we go, bottom of the 7th inning, gold medal, national championship game, Ray Carter Cup 2019, the Boys Under 15 Baseball Canada Championships on SportsCanada.TV. Brian Oliver along with Jacob Ebbs. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning, BC with a 4-3 lead. and trying to close it out here to win the national championship here in Oshawa, Ontario. Scheduled hitters for Ontario here in the bottom of the 7th are the 7, 8, and 9 hitters. Nick King was the scheduled hitter, and it will not be Nick King.
Kyle Mewson is going to bat.
Kyle Mewson comes on to pinch hit here for Nick King, who was 0 for 2 in the ball game. Pearce Radke is the pitcher. Swing and a miss, strike one.
Brian, we were talking just in the break there. Ontario being down 1 run, they're going to do whatever it takes just to get base runners, whether it be interference, getting hit by a pitch, or singles, or whatever it may be.
Ball is in the dirt from Pearce Radke. 1 ball and 1 strike to pinch hitter Kyle Mewson. Ontario needs a run to tie or 2 to win it. British Columbia 4, Ontario 3. The left-handed hitter is ready. The ball is low from Pearce Radke. 2 balls and 1 strike. Pearce Radke is the 3rd pitcher of the ball game for BC. Ryan Heppner started it. Tyson Dinsdale came on. And now Pearce Radke trying to close out a gold medal national championship for BC. The count is 2-1 to Kyle Mewson. That's a base hit to left field. Kyle Mewson with a pinch hit over Ryan Heppner at short. And Ontario has the tying run aboard here with nobody out.
You can feel it already.
Lots of discussion going on in the Ontario dugout right now as the scheduled batter is Ryan Liang. And time is called, and we're going to see some kind of substitution here perhaps as Ontario's management comes out, and possibly a pinch runner here. Anyway, it was a pinch hit there by Kyle Mewson to get the tying run aboard, and the winning run comes to the plate now for Ontario here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Nobody out, 4-3 British Columbia. So let's see, it looks like a pinch runner is coming in for Ontario. And it's Ryan James coming on to pinch run now for the pinch hitter. So Ryan James represents the tying run for Ontario here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Kyle Mewson did his job to get Ontario with the base runner, and Liang, looks like Liang will be the batter here for Ontario. Possibly a bunting situation here, and probably a bunting situation as if Ontario is trying to play for the tie. Let's see what happens. Liang is ready. Pitch is not a bunt attempt there at all. That is a strike at the knees from Pearce Radke, 0-1.
You would think it'd be a bunt situation. However, maybe not. They may be just trying to slap one through.
No balls and 1 strike to Ryan Liang. Now he squares to bunt, and he fouls it away. He got a little bit of bat on it, but he was too high. The pitch was pretty high, and he just could not bring it down to get it into play. So it's no balls and 2 strikes now, and maybe that changes whether you bunt or not here.
Yeah, this makes things incredibly interesting. Are they going to risk it here? Again, if they bunt it foul or he misses it, strike 3, he is out.
Count is 0-2 to Ryan Liang. The base runner at first gets his lead. Here's the pitch. It's outside. Great job there by Kenny Scott to make sure that doesn't get away. BC does not want to let that base runner get to second on a wild pitch. Tying run at first here for Ontario. Bottom of the 7th, nobody out. And it's Ryan James at first with the lead. Ryan Liang is the batter. Radke is ready. Here's the 1-2. Strike 3 called. Kenny Scott does a great job of framing that. Ryan Liang is caught looking, 1 away. And that will bring up Owen Findlay. The left fielder for Ontario will come up here. He's 2 for 2 in the ball game. Couple of singles, so he's had the hot bat in this game for Ontario. Let's see what he can do here now with the tying run at first. 1 away for Ontario. BC looking for a double play to end it. Pearce Radke is ready. Pitch is misses. Kenny Scott jumped up there as the ball came in, and maybe he thought the runner was going, but It's a ball, 1-0 to Owen Findlay.
Yeah, I think either he thought he was going there or they got crossed up.
Findlay is ready. Here's the 1-0. It's in there for a strike. Pearce Radke with a 1-1 count. One away here. Ontario trailing 4-3. BC looking to close out a national championship. Ontario looking to turn the tables. The 1-1 pitch misses. 2 balls and a strike. Owen Findlay now ahead in the count. We'll keep an eye on the base runner. Ontario would desperately love to get Ryan James over to second base. We'll see if he runs. It would be a big gamble, though.
I don't believe Ontario has tried the running game yet.
Fouled away. Big cut by Owen Findlay. That evens the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Liam Conway is the scheduled hitter on deck for Ontario. 1 away, count of 2-2, tying run at first. Radke looks into Kenny Scott. He's ready. The 2-2 pitch is high, ball 3, 3-2. Now this is a big situation for Findlay because if he walks, that puts the tying run into scoring position.
I think the BC defense is going to get ready. If there's going to be any chance of anyone running, it will be right now.
Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing on and miss, strike 3. 2 away. British Columbia 1 out away from the gold medal national championship here at the Ray Carter Cup in Oshawa, Ontario. 2 strikeouts by Pearce Radke. The batter will be Liam Conway, the first baseman. He is 0 for 1 in the game. He is fouled out and laid down a sacrifice bunt. The tying run is at first for Ontario now with 2 out. Conway squats down with that pitch. It's a ball. Looks like it was outside. Pearce Radke now with the 1-0 count. Liam Conway looking to keep his team alive here. The count is 1-0. It's low and outside, ball 2. As the Ontario players all applauding in the dugout on the third base side, and BC's going to talk things over here now. What do you say here? You're the pitcher, the manager's coming out, you're an out away, but it's a very big out away. A lot can still happen here.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Radke right now is just trying to overdo it. He's trying to blow the hitter away. If I was a pitching coach, Ryan, just tell him to relax. He got some incredibly strong defense right behind it. Let them hit it. See what happens.
I think maybe they also could be considering the fact that they might want to be trying to get Liam Conway here because the next batter coming up is Zach Curris, and he is 3 for 3 in the ball game with 2 singles and a double. He's had the hot bat for Ontario in this game, and they do not want him to come up with a runner in scoring position. 2-0 is the count. It's taken for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Liam Conway shakes his head as he looks back over to the dugout. 2 balls and a strike. Tying run at first for Ontario. Pearce Radke is ready. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Taken outside, wow. Ball 3.
Wow.
The closest of margins. That was exceptionally close. 3 balls and a strike now. Liam Conway ahead in the count. Ontario hopeful of getting that tying run into scoring position. Here's the 3-1. It's in there for strike 2. So now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes, 2 out. The runner will be going with the pitch here. That's Ryan James at first.
You can hear the energy around the stadium right now. It is electric. This is huge.
The 3-2 pitch from Radke. It's taken for ball 4.
Wow.
Exceptionally close pitch there at the plate. And Liam Conway gets the walk. That moves Ryan James into scoring position. First and second now for Ontario with 2 out. And Zach Curris, 3 for 3 in the ball game, comes up to the plate here with the tying run. The tying run at second and the winning run at first. Pearce Radke is ready. Pitch is taken for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes to Zach Curris. What a moment here at Kinsman Stadium in Oshawa.
I don't know about you, Brian. My heart is beating pretty quickly right now. This is the best of the best in the country here.
Zach Curris with a 1-0 count. Pearce Radke looking in. He will throw back to second. And they fake it. No,
oh my God, he has it.
They've got it in a rundown. They'll throw to second. They tag at second. Save at second.
Oh, God.
Safe at second as getting back is Ryan James. That was a fake throw to second base, and everybody on BC put their hands on their head like the ball got away, and then Ryan James took off for third, and they had him in a rundown. The defense slipped, and James gets back to second, and he's safe. Wow. So we'll keep going here.
This is something you see out of Barstool Sports right now.
Wow. BC tried the trick play there as they faked the throw back to second, and with all the noise, Ryan James took off for third and then realized, oh my goodness, the pitcher still has the ball. And he just got back into second base. That was so close. James is the tying run at second.
How do you practice that play?
And in that moment, they all acted it out perfectly on the infield. They all put their hands on their head like, uh-oh, the ball's gone away. But he never threw the ball. 1-0 to Zach Curris. Tying run at second. Ball is in the dirt and it gets through the catcher. The runners are going to advance. And now the tying run is at third and the winning run is at second base. Wow. Count is 2-0 to Zach Curris. A base hit will certainly tie this game, and it might even win the ball game as Liam Conway is at second. So it's a wild, maybe it's a, I don't know if it's a wild pitch or a pass ball, but
they're going to put him on. They're going to do 4-pitch walk.
And there goes Zach Curris, and that might be a good decision for British Columbia as it's an intentional walk.
You know what, that is,
Curris is 3 for 3.
Smart. I think that's pretty smart there.
You take the bat out of Ontario's hottest hitter, but it brings up Greg Lachance, and he is 1 for 3 in the ball game. He hit a double and knocked in the first run of the ball game back, way back in the first inning. So Greg Lachance with a chance to tie the game and win it here for Ontario, and Pearce Radke trying to end it. Everything balancing on the fulcrum here. Pitch is swung on and missed. Pearce Radke fires in a strike. What tension. Greg Lachance at the plate. Ontario trailing 4-3 here, bottom of the 7th. 2 out. The count is no balls and 1 strike. The pitch swung on and missed. Strike 2. British Columbia again a strike away from winning it all. And either way, momentarily, this place is going to explode either for Ontario or for British Columbia. Somebody is going to win it right here, one way or the other.
Holy moly, absolute classic up right now. This is huge. Stadium is packed, it is electric, and a nail biter at that.
Count is 0-2. Pearce Radke is ready. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Taken, and it's outside. Ball 1. Now remember, a walk would tie the game here. Its count is 1-2 though. A couple pitches to play with for Pearce Radke.
I don't think Radke's going to mess around here. I think he's going to go right after Lachance here.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fouled away. Lachance keeps it alive. What a swing to spoil that one. And the tension ratchets up just a little bit more here. Bases loaded. 2 out. British Columbia 4, Ontario 3. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Pearce Radke. Popped up and it's fouled out of play. We will do it again. The tension has gone from 9 to 11 or maybe even 12 here out of 10.
You can hear after every pitch in 9 in the game, you can hear like a sigh of relief or maybe not, oh crap.
Radke is ready. The 1-2 pitch to Lachance is in play. It's going to be a tough play. They have no play. The game is tied.
Wow.
A chopper as Radke came off the mound, tried to field it, thought about going to first, thought about going to third, thought about going home, but he couldn't get to the ball fast enough. And Greg Lachance has tied the game with an RBI infield single here in the bottom of the 7th, and it's 4-4.
You know what? Kudos on both sides. I don't think there could have been any play for BC. By the time Pearce got to the ball, it was too close. There'd be no chance.
So Matt Isaacson, who left this game earlier as the starting catcher, will re-enter the ball game here and will hit for Jackson Hutchison. With the bases loaded, a tie game now. British Columbia now just hoping for extra innings. Liam Conway is the winning run at third base. The bases are loaded with 2 out here as Pearce Radke will get a fresh count. Matt Isaacson is ready. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Liam Conway at third. Zach Curris at second, Greg Lachance at first, but really the only run that matters here is Liam Conway at third. 0-1 to Matt Isaacson. The pitch is low, and a great block by Kenny Scott, because if that gets past him, the game is over.
That's it, it's over.
British Columbia 4, Ontario 4. Ontario trying to win it here in a walk-off. Count is 1-1 to Matt Isaacson. That ball is hit to the right field, and that is going to drop, and
it's down, it's over!
It's down, it drops in front of the right fielder. The game is over. Ontario wins in a walk-off 5-4. Brandon Leblanc went out for it, and he couldn't grab it. A walk-off win. Ontario is the 2019 Ray Carter Cup champions in an amazing game here in Oshawa.
Wow. What a turn of events here. Right fielder Brandon LeBlanc was just, and I mean just, missed that ball, laid out flat as he could like a plane, and just missing and getting underneath him.
Ontario walks it off in the most dramatic fashion here in the bottom of the 7th inning with 2 runs, tying it on an infield single by Greg Lachance, and then Matt Isaacson winning it with a single to right field to score Liam Conway with the winning run. Ontario 5, British Columbia 4, in an incredible ball game here in the 2019 Ray Carter Cup. A dejected British Columbia team comes up to shake hands as Ontario now comes to meet them in what really was one of the finer ball games that I've really ever witnessed here in the 2019 championship. What a game.
Yeah, great point, Brian. That was a fantastic game from start to finish. Relatively low-scoring game. It's weird. In all the big games, you always see some sort of excitement or something like that. Makes its way present.
So the gold medal will go to Ontario. British Columbia will take home silver in the 2019 Ray Carter Cup. Prince Edward Island earlier today winning the bronze medal, and we'll have the medal presentations in a few moments here at Kinsman Stadium. And what a crowd, what an environment it really was. You know, and it's very similar to last year, as we saw Ontario win last year in an extra innings walk-off against Saskatchewan. So similar end in this game. Ontario pulling out all the stops at the end of the game is Pearce Radke. You got to feel for him. BC thought they had a couple times the strikeout to win the game. They didn't get the call, and the game went on. So Ontario wins it 5-4 in a walk-off. The championship hats and medals are being brought out now to the infield here at Kinsman Stadium, and we will, in a moment, as Kenny Scott gets the player of the game for British Columbia in this game. He was amazing. Matt Isaacson, who came out of the game after committing a couple of tough errors early in the ball game as the Ontario catcher comes on to be the hero with a walk-off single to win the game. amazing how the game of baseball can turn, and you have troubles at one part of the game, but he gets a second chance.
I'll tell you, baseball is a tough mistress.
5-4 Ontario over BC. Ontario gold medalist for the second consecutive year. BC silver medalist. Prince Edward Island will get the bronze medal. And in a few moments' time, we will take the presentation and the official medal ceremony presentations and let our listeners listen in to the names get called out as the teams will come on. All of the teams who are here in the stadium will come on to the field in a final celebration of what really will be a memorable Ray Carter Cup here in 2019 in Oshawa, Ontario. British Columbia lined up, and in a very solemn fashion on the right field line. You have to feel for them. They had a 4-1 lead in this game. They were an out away. They were a strike away from winning the championship, and it just didn't happen for them.
Thank you for doing it, you guys. Appreciate all your time you put in.
Ontario still mobbing each other on the third base line as they almost can't believe their good fortune here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 2 runs to win it in a walk-off, 5-4. So the other teams that were here in the tournament are now coming on to the field. You can see a large contingent of people coming on to the field from the right field line. And they will gather around here for the overall presentations, the medals and tournament awards will be handed out here. We'll try and take the audio for you so you can hear the PA announcement. I believe it will be Jamie May announcing the awards momentarily for all of the teams, but boy, you know, that now the tension just sort of subsides and everybody is breathing a lot easier after what really was an incredible tension. And, you know, you look back at, you know, Ontario escaped on that fake throw to second base that almost ended the ball game. And Ryan James scrambling back and so closely getting to second base. If he had been out, that was the ball game right there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think hypothetically, if that play was made, we would have seen that go worldwide. And that would have been crazy. You and I would probably been on, you know, World Star, Barstool Sports. We would have been famous ourselves. But, I mean, it's just crazy how tides can turn so quickly. 2 runs here in the bottom of the 7th. And Ontario takes home their second consecutive Ray Carter Cup.
So the medal-winning teams now line up. Ontario in the middle holding their sign as the gold medalists, and I guess taking the podium, if you will, on the mound in the middle of the diamond here at Kinsman Stadium. British Columbia on the right side, they are the silver medalists, and you can see Prince Edward Island, not in uniform, of course. They won the bronze medal late this afternoon, and you can see the Prince Edward Island flag now being unfurled on the left side as the bronze medalists here at the Ray Carter Cup.
Yeah, kudos to Prince Edward Island. I think they were the most offensively powerful group so far.
Minor. Back in. We're going to try and take the audio for you as we wait the official announcements. And here we go.
Before we start, I would like to thank Chairperson Ken Babcock and his stellar host. We would like to thank the many sponsors for supporting this national championship, including the Toronto Blue Jays, Kahunaverse, SportsCanada, Dairy Queen, Mizuno, Rawlings, and local sponsors Durham College, RCC Residence and Conference Centers, MyCore Insurance, GCBS Group of Companies. Thank you to the outstanding umpire crews that worked this 15-year Ray Carter Cup. Thank you to all the participating teams, coaches, players, trainers, chefs, and parents. We would now like to begin the award presentation. The top pitcher of the tournament, which will be awarded a Rawlings glove. This pitcher went 9.1 innings pitched, giving up just 3 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, and 12 strikeouts for a whip of 0.54 and ERA of 0. From PEI, Brandon Langley. The top defensive player of the tournament, who will be taking home a Mizuno glove. This player had a perfect 1,000 fielding percentage on 27 total chances. The top defensive player from Whitby, Greg Leshane. The top catcher of the tournament, who will be taking home a Mizuno glove. This catcher caught 38 out of 42 of his team's innings, while going 7 for 17 for a 412 average and a 545 on base percentage. The catcher of the tournament from Nova Scotia, Lane George. Top hitter who was taking home a Rawlings bat. This hitter hit .412 with a 500 on base percentage. The top hitter of the tournament from British Columbia, Brandon Leblanc. Now we'll begin with the medal presentations. For the bronze medals, presented to PEI. Number 5, Luke Coughlin. Number 6, Sam Worth. Number 8, Ethan Smith. Number 9, Colby Huggin. Number 13, Will Morrison. Number 25, Grayson Laporte. Number 26, Owen Lynch. Number 29, Declan Campbell. Number 32, Brandon Langley. Number 38, Jacob Dunn. Number 39, Miles Grant. Number 43, Cody McCormick. Number 46, Chris McDougall. Number 92, Nolan Stewart. Number 93, Caden Doyle. Head coach of PEI, Rob McCormick. Assistant coaches, Blair Creelman. Assistant coach, Matthew Barlow. Assistant coach, Joseph McInnes. And chef de maison, Desi Doyle.
For our viewers still watching us right now, we are watching the medal presentations here at the Ray Carter Cup 2019 closing ceremonies. Prince Edward Island just getting its bronze medals.
Silver medals presented by Ken Babcock, host organizer and chairman.
And now the silver medals
2019 15U Nationals. Number 2, Jared Hall.
to British Columbia.
Number 3, Malachi Dubrell. Number 4, Ryan Heppner. Number 9, Jaron Yamoka. Number 10, Justin Zabudsky. Number 11, Brandon Leblanc. Number 12, Tayo Boyley. Number 13, Noah Casey. Number 17, Tyson Dingsdale. Number 19, Pearce Radke. Number 21, Diego Fuentes. Number 22, Will Anderson. Number 24, Yanni Marone. Number 25, Kenny Scott. Number 26, Everett Swain. Number 32, Carson Latimer. Number 33, Hayden Cuthbertson. Number 99, Jaden Nagger. Head coach of British Columbia, Cam Frick. Assistant coaches, Ford Marcotte. Assistant coach, Brian Losay. Assistant coach, Luke Yam. And chef de mission, Wayne Laviolette. The 2019 silver medalist, British Columbia.
So BC has their silver medal now, and we will see the gold medals now presented to the winning team, Ontario, winning this championship game 5-4 here at Kinsman Stadium in Oshawa, Ontario, and we will continue to let you hear the names of the medalists. This is PA announcer Jamie May.
Number 00, Matt Isaacson. Number 2, Owen Finley. Number 8, Ryan James. Number 9, Carson Lumley. Number 10, Caden Chung. Number 11, Greg Lachance. Number 14, Adrian McBride. Number 20, Zach Sabo. Number 21, Jackson Hutchison. Number 24, Noah Avis. Number 26, Nick King. Number 27, Liam Conway. Number 36, Parker Bailey. Number 43, Zach Kuros. Number 54, Ryan Liang. Number 66, Griffin Cato. Number 81, Cody Hagerman. And number 83, Kyle Mewson. Head coach of Team Ontario, Jerry Pendergast. Assistant coach, Claire Osborne. Assistant coach, Jake Ross. Assistant coach, Ryan Verreet. Trainer, Jeff Hardy. Chef de Mission, David Huckwith. And Chef de Mission, Glenn Ostresser.
So those are the gold medals presented to the gold medal winning Ontario team. The winners from Whitby, Ontario, the Whitby Chiefs, national champions in the under-15, the Ray Carter Cup for 2019, as they now all have their gold medals. And I know it's hard for everyone to see as the crowd has gathered around and blocked the view of our live stream viewers. And now they will hand out the banner and the trophy to Ontario. And if you can see the flag in the middle of that scrum, that's where all of the activity is taking place. In the middle of the infield here at Kinsman Stadium as they will prepare to raise the trophy. Ontario winning it. They get their championship hats for winning the national championship. There's the flag in the middle of the diamond. You'll probably hear a roar here in just a moment as the trophy goes into the air. And there it is, the Ray Carter Cup. Ontario winning it for the second consecutive year in dramatic fashion with a walk-off win here at Kinsman Stadium.
On behalf of Baseball Oshawa, we'd like to thank everyone for attending an amazing weekend of 15U baseball. Let's hear it one more time for the 2019 Ray Carter Cup champion, Team Ontario.
And there we hear the customary championship song by Queen. We are the champions, and Ontario is the champions. As you'll see them actually come now onto the screen briefly in their red jerseys with the flag, and now is a chance for our live stream viewers to see it. Of course, they're now facing away from the camera.
Of course.
And you'll get to see everybody taking their picture. How's that? Jacob Ebbs, you're back here now to talk about this, and you know what it feels like to have won some championships over the years. This is a memory we'll always have as a baseball player.
Yeah, you know what? I actually won a provincial championship at Whitby a few years ago at the 18U level, and honestly, it was probably one of the best moments of my life. Being one of the core guys there and just winning a huge championship, you got to understand, these are 18 brothers. You're totally right. They are never, and I mean never, going to forget this, especially when they probably get the ring on their finger later on.
Ontario winning the championship here at Kinsman Stadium, Team Ontario. The Whitby Chiefs won the Ontario Eliminations Tournament a few weeks ago, and now they convert that into a national championship. And almost a hometown win as Whitby just west of Oshawa. And they will celebrate this one for a long, long time in a game that I'm sure anyone who was here will remember for a long, long time, and hopefully all of our viewers who are watching it will remember it for a long, long time as the pictures have been taken and they will begin to celebrate. High fives and hugs with parents, grandparents, brothers and sisters. And an incredible conclusion to a great weekend of baseball. And, you know, there's nothing better than watching a championship game that is just so dramatic. It's, you know, it wasn't a 12-0 game. It wasn't a 9-1 game or anything like that. It had everything and some unforgettable moments, Jake.
Yeah, you gotta love the close games rather than a blow. It just makes it fun for everyone watching, whether it be here or across the country at home. Yeah, you gotta love those games. It's so much more exciting, and so much more meaningful when it's all said and done.
So we will watch Ontario there go off the screen, and we will wrap things up in just a moment. Again, final score, Ontario 5, British Columbia 4 to win the gold medal and the national championship here in Oshawa, Ontario. 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning to erase a 4-3 deficit and win the national championship. Silver to British Columbia. They played a great baseball game and just came up short, so they will take the silver back to the Pacific Coast, and the bronze medal will be going to the Atlantic side of the country as PEI takes home bronze with a win earlier today over Manitoba to take bronze. Recapping the major award winners of the tournament, the pitcher of the tournament was Prince Edward Island's Brandon Langley. The defensive player of the tournament was Ontario's Greg Lachance. Catcher of the tournament was Nova Scotia's Lane George. And the hitter of the tournament was Brandon Leblanc of British Columbia. Those are your major award winners here at the 2019 Ray Carter Cup. Some final thoughts, Jake, before we close off.
You know, an absolutely unforgettable week. I don't think it really matters if you weren't even in the contention for the medals or anything like that, or you're on Whitby right now, representing Ontario with the gold in their hands. Great week of baseball, showing off just how strong baseball is in the country of Canada. Really looking forward to see what this produces later on when it gets to the 18-year age.
Very well said, Jake. That's going to do it for us here at Kinsman Stadium. Ontario, the gold medalists at the 2019 Ray Carter Cup. It's for Jacob Ebbs and also for Scott Trewady, who is my co-partner on some of the other broadcasts in the tournament. My name is Brian Oliver. Thank you for watching. It's been great having you along for the ride. Hope you enjoyed this ball game. And to all of our travelers heading back to their home parts of the country, we wish them a very safe trip back home. Again, Ontario, the champions for 2019. Good night from Oshawa.